Hello there, and welcome to the party. More specifically, welcome to Side Quests, our weekly one-shot series showcasing a different game with a different crew every week. But before we get into the action, we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. First up, Tabletop Loot, purveyors of fine dice. You can use promo code WTTPDICE to get 15% off your next purchase from tabletoploot.com. We're also sponsored by So Nerdware. Head over to SoNerdware.com and use promo code WELCOME to get 10% off your next order. So Nerdware, it's what the nerds wear. And of course, we are proudly sponsored by Roll20, the virtual tabletop that runs straight out of your web browser. Maps, character sheets, video chat, Roll20 has everything you need. So get started with a free basic account today by signing up at roll20.net/start/WTTP. And finally, if you'd like to support us directly, you can come check out our Patreon. And if you want to join in the fun, take a look at our Discord server. Alright, enough shilling. Let's go meet the players for tonight's game.
What's happening, everybody? We have Angela /Phoenix /Phoenix24Fem here coming at you from the SideQuest channel and here on Welcome to the Party. Hello, 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 wonderful viewers. We are here for an amazing time tonight and by all accounts, a very likely ridiculous time. So we are going, for those of you who are joining us, to be playing a bit of 5e in a homebrew setting that I have used here in another series that we've run for our channel, of Adventures in Ugni, Ugni being the name of the world that I've created and the continent which our players are going to be playing in a section of. Although, albeit a little bit of timey-wimey magic happening in a different time, a much more peaceful, wonderful, how shall we say, festive time. So we're going to get into that. Shout out to all of our sponsors. We've already done that with the ad that came on before this, but more importantly, shout out now to our fantastic players who we have joining us this evening. So everyone, if you could go, whoever would like in order, not in order, whoever would like to go first and whoever falls from that, just name, where we can find you, and we're going to get to your characters in just a little bit. But for our D&D 5e one shot of Battle of the Bards Showdown for the Pick of Destiny, someone start us off. Player, introduce yourself.
I'll go ahead. My name's Fiona Fatale. You can find me on Twitter at FionaFatale2L. I'm also on Nerds with Dice, and I am so excited to play tonight.
Fantastic. Next up, somebody.
Hi, I'm Persephone. You can find me at Persephone Hime on Twitter, and also Thursday nights, because, nothing else happens on Thursday nights, on twitch.tv/new to the party, playing Hyperdrive, The First Ember, and then also every other Sunday on twitch.tv/the Bardic Knock, doing Before the Crimson Storm. Super excited to do Bard shenanigans.
Excellent. Next up, who would like to go next?
I'll tap in. My name is Simon. You can find me on Twitter at Lucha Libris, and I am ready for this party to pop off.
Next up.
Hi, my name is Kellen. I don't really have any real social media, so I guess sucks. I'm very excited to be here today, though.
Excited to have you on. And last but not least,
I am Sorkia. I am sorry. You can find me on the Welcome to the Party Discord, as well as on New to the Party's Hyperdrive with Persephone and actually our producer Ulfrig. Thursday nights, and I believe, is there anything else I'm on? Nothing I can really think of at the moment.
Yes, I believe that covers it. As I said earlier in the enthusiastic announcer show voice, I am Angela /Phoenix24Fem on Twitter /Philosophem over on Patreon, where I am a writer and poet, and you can find my materials there. And I'm just around the Welcome to the Party Discord, which you are all very lucky to be joining it. And because of all the work all the work that people do over there, and that is supported by our Patreon, as well as our sibling channel, New to the Party. Check them out. Check out our Patreon. And also, check out all of us out on social media. Join the Discord if you want to get hyped up and see other amazing conversations and players, and see what got us started to play here tonight, thanks to our fantastic showrunner, Fox. And with that, we're going to plunge into a world that in a different time was locked in fading life, a continent in which the very magic suffusing this entire land and the skies and the fabric of reality was fading. But not during this era, not during this era. During this era, we find ourselves on the continent of Agni, in the northernmost region of Chantico. We find ourselves in a place of 4 quadrants denoting the major refugee and other civilizations and races that have come together in communities to make longstanding traditions of storytelling, of oral history, of various communities coming together post tragedies and conflicts, with locations and landmarks such as a massive statue denoting a woman, or a feminine form rather, not a woman, wearing a crystalline crown, one hand raised up holding a condor, another a serpentine-like stone figure going down at this massive statue denoting the region of Chantico. This place of bustling people and townsfolk, shaped heavily by these pyramidal structures, stepstone and decreasing in their patterns as they go up, very Mesoamerican or Chichen Itza sort of inspired locales. While normally a place of worship devoted to the warden of strength, to the god of just and righteous combat, now is devoted to another bit of combat, of the musical variety, as every street corner, open though it is, the 4 quadrants devoted to the halflings, shifters, drow, duergar, gnome, elven, all of the races, all of the groups here, now is alight and full of color and full of sound, as a once famous festival has once again returned, not been heard of for many a year since its founder disappeared under mysterious circumstances, but who now, it would seem, has given the okay for things to return. A famed glamour bard of great esteem by the name of J.M. Ney, once a beloved singer, performer, dancer, every talent that the bard could have, set down a proclamation to discover who would be among the best musicians and performers across all of Agni. And so Chantico is chosen as the site for this day. The Battle of the Bards begins anew. And the prize to the individual, to the group, to the trio, to whichever performance impresses the judges the most is the fabled Pick of Destiny, a once prized magic item said to have been wielded by J.N. Monet herself, now available for the winners to take hold of. And among these streets, heading towards a massive pyramidal step inclined structure, various bits of writing in every kind of language, though mostly Sylvan, Primordial, and Infernal, with a little bit of Elven thrown in for good measure. We find our party members approaching a massive stage that has essentially come upon the incline pattern of these pyramidal structures to the very top. Crowds and sound all around you. We find a group that is reunited once again to perform, or at least get their shit together enough to get some money out of this. We'll figure that out as we go along. So, as the camera sort of pans on over to our group of players, I'd like each of you in turn to describe what your character is experiencing as you head on over to the tent that your esteemed manager has been given the information to sign up and get everything in order before the big performance and tryout today to see who will win. Who would like to go first?
Okay. I'll go first. My character's name is uh, Zenazir, Zen for short. He is half orc, currently decked out in some lovely leather pants, because of course it's a festival. You need to have leather pants for a music festival, and scale mail. And while he looks very much like he's ready for battle, he is carrying lots of cords, lots of equipment, and looks more like a beast of burden than a warrior, um, as he is trying to figure out where all of the equipment needs to go. And he's gone to 3 different places. None of them were the right ones. So he is here hoping that he is in the right spot. Finally.
Alrighty, next up, while Zen is struggling with all of this equipment and is finally caught up with the group with all of these cords, all these equipment and instruments and such, who is with Zen?
I think Laurel comes like walking towards the tent, just desperately trying to like tune her mandolin over the noise. Alternative to leather pants, wearing no pants because you're a centaur.
Love it.
And there are so many memes about how would a centaur wear pants? It doesn't matter. Laurel's wearing a dress.
Why did the My Little Pony theme just start running through my head?
No, she will stomp on you for that. No MLP comparisons, thank you.
All right, and so we have Laurel coming alongside, wearing the dress. Who is alongside Laurel in this moment?
Probably Victor. Victor is kind of new to this world. He was killed in another realm and kind of transported and revived over here. Uh, kept his same, pretty much his same memories, the same attitude, and his same voice. uh, I apologize, my voice is going. I've got a cold, but we have. He right now is donned in essentially full leather welding gear, as the best way to describe it. He's got like half-inch thick leather gloves, half-inch thick leather apron, leather pants that are probably about as thick, and he's carrying what looks to be black flour, but is in fact gunpowder. Just a big old sack.
So we have a walking pyro incident about to happen, coming alongside Zen and Laurel. Who else is walking alongside this wonderful group?
That would be Eden. And while they're approaching the tent, such things, he's checking his hair, making sure it's completely right, tuning his lute while he's doing his thing, and pretty much trying to look pretty, I guess.
Alrighty, and last but not least, the manager for this illustrious band of interesting folks from across the realms and across various professions and such. Who do we have as our last member?
Yeah, so Vincentheros Vainglory. Please, Vince for short. It's too much. No pretenses around here. We're all friends. Is wearing a fantasy 3-piece suit, effectively. It is like a light powder blue. He's got a vest in an off color for accent. He's got the tie. He's an elf. He's about 5'6", not particularly athletic, not particularly uh, not like he's been around the block. He's a little, he keeps himself in shape, not as much as other people might, or maybe as much as he should. Um, but he's an elf with kind of coppery brown skin, close cropped hair. He's got these sunglasses that are like tinted pink glass that he's looking at the world through. Um, and he's exasperatedly flipping through papers on a clipboard with a pencil, checking things off and making sure, like, oh, nope, Zen dropped a cable. Do we have to? No, that's not a deductible. Okay, we're good. And the powder kegs, we need 3. I'm not seeing enough powder kegs. He's just absolutely exasperated and flustered and trying to keep it together. Uh, Running his hands through his hair and trying to mop back the sweat with his pocket square.
And so we have our group assembled here, having once worked together in previous capacities and reunited for this wonderful competition of bardic, musical, and artistic triumph. And as you're walking forward, this opening to a tent is in front of you, just a bit of ways, about 15 by 20 sort of space as you enter inside, and you see 3 individuals who are inside of it. 2 relatively like average looking humans, so kind of like deep brown skin, relatively average, like 5'7", 5'9" kind of height, long kind of brown hair, some of them with big heavy curls in it. They look like they're probably haven't slept very well, and are probably, you get the impression, Vince, most keenly, that's like, we've been run ragged and we're still going and the festival's still going and it just started. They have that kind of look to them. But the third person catches all of your eyes a little bit more distinctly, more than likely because of his outfit. The best way I can describe this person's appearance is he has a set of like very deep black shades on, hair that is exceptionally spiky. Like we're talking like platinum blonde, hyper spiked sort of hair, and very deep red orange skin, but it does not appear to be naturally that color. It appears to have been like tanned on very much. And his appearance in terms of his robes and such, he looks as though he's wearing the fantasy equivalent of bowling shirts, and his color scheme is the equivalent of if a Hot Wheels racing car came alive. It's that kind of vivid red, orange, and yellow. And this is a halfling, mind you, so it's not a big fella. It's just down, shorter than the other 2. He's probably only about 3.5, 4 feet tall. And he just sort of turns around and he says, "Hi there, everybody! Welcome welcome to this festival. It's nice to see you. I see you're the last act we've been waiting for. Hello there, hello. Are you here to join the bardic and magical experience that is this music festival? Or are you just sort of tourists just kind of passing by? Because that's great. We're going to invite you in, but I need to know, are you actually supposed to be here?"
Oh
No,
no,
I'm
we're
just
on the list.
I'm
We're
just
in
carrying
act, yeah.
all of this because I feel like it. Yeah.
Hey, we don't judge. Some people are into some different stuff. Some people like doing different things different times of the day. We love you. I love you. You can tell. But seriously, which one of you do I actually have to talk to?
Okay, listen, pal. Eden and Laurel are here for the Grand Reunion Tour. You may have heard of it. I've been plastering signs all over, from everywhere from Backfire all the way up to Chantico. Obviously, this is going to be just an incredible display from some of the greatest musicians in the genre. We're here for the big time. We're here for the big top. We're here for the whole enchilada. Um, you're going to be blown away, whether or not you've heard these folks before, or you've never. This is your first time having the pleasure of having your ear cavities soothed by their luscious sounds. We know that we're going to take home the pick of destiny. It's going to be a fantastic time. I've got a bunch of forms here to fill out in triplicate. I'm sure you've got a few things for me. What do we need to do here? What do we need to do to get started?
No worries. I just got a couple of forms that I just need a signature from all of them. The standard kind of stuff. About like liabilities, the usual like pyrotechnics that you cause of your own doing are your responsibility, and any repercussions that come from it will be coming out of what you will be paying for that, because we're not responsible for things that you do. We've put in a lot of protections, but and he just sort of starts looking at the multiple things of gunpowder on Victor. It's like, I think we can only cover about 80% of that, so we'll let you know. But buddy, come here. And it's like, mind you, he's significantly shorter than you, but he's
Oh
like
yeah.
trying to usher you in, like he's like, come here. Listen, I come from a place just not too many folks know. They just refer to it as F Town, but I can tell you already, I've heard of you. You're amazing. You're great. I love that Simon knows. Simon knows what I'm
It just
referring
hit me
to.
like a friggin'
Yep,
bus.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
You know who this is.
I do.
So, not too many people know about it, but we have certainly heard of you. Just sign it up. Performances. We got a few people set up to go ahead of you, but you got the last spot of the night. End off big. And you got some time to explore the festival if you'd like, but probably going to be about an hour or two. We'll give you a bunch of time. If necessary, we'll give a little bit of a arcane juice up just to speed you up and doing anything you need to set up if you run a little bit low on time or people go over. But just sign some forms, get a signature from all of you. We'll have you ready to go. We'll get you set up. And my two wonderful friends here will help you along. That work?
Sure thing, babe. Listen, so my guy, yeah, I can understand that you're concerned about the insurance liability of everything. I assure you, we have only the best of the best. These guys are going to blow you away. And I don't mean that in a way that you should be concerned about legally. That is non-binding. You cannot hold me to it, as I have not yet signed any forms. However, we will assure that the experience is both explosive and incredible for all people involved. I'm sure that both Eden and Laurel are here to provide the greatest musical experience that anyone has ever seen on this stage. My roadie here is gonna really take it to the top. We'll get all set up. We'll get out of your hair. We'll get over to craft services, have a snack, and then we're gonna rock the show. So let's just take care of this. We'll do all the legalese, and everybody else can go have some fun.
Yeah, if you could tell me where I could put all of this stuff,
Don't worry.
my
Don't
back would
worry.
appreciate it.
Yeah, don't worry about it, my friends. Hey, just sort of snap, like they're not far away, but he just kind of like snaps to both of them, like, hey, come here, help him out with all this. All right, you got it? Yeah, good, sweet. We're gonna be great. And like both of them just sort of look at the group with a bit of a like, help me expression. It's like, I promise I'm paying you. Don't make it sound like I'm making you do something worse than you being paid for. Ungrateful people. But we'll get this sorted out. Yeah, just set your stuff over there. We'll get it all sorted out, and my two buddies here will help take care of it. So no worries. And just like there, you see like a little bit of ways. There's just stacks of various instruments, and you see some of it is like probably Vince, and Eden is also Elven, correct?
Yes.
You both recognize it as being like very bioluminescent glowing sets of instruments, and probably of a drow origin. Like there's various like lutes and things. It looks like it's the equivalent of like guitars and other folk instruments, but they're made of a fungal sort of structure, and they have a glow in here where with the light not coming in from outside as strongly, they're glowing of their own accord. And yeah, he's like, set it down over there. And what's your name? Just my apologies. I did not give you all my name proper. My name is Alden. I'm Alden Fietti. It's wonderful to see all of you. And let me see, what are your names? What do I have you? Who do I got to remember for everyone in the band? I'm assuming that one over there, the impressive and tall miss over there, looks over in Laurel's direction. I'm assuming you're Laurel?
Yes, I'm Laurel.
Well, you're just as beautiful as many people have said. Lovely to have you here.
Oh, I get even more beautiful during the show, honey.
Oh, I think we will certainly be looking forward to that in that case. gives you like big. He's just winking the entire time. He's just like hamming it up. Looks over at Eden. Gorgeous. I've heard you're a fantastic singer as well. A little bit more of a new addition, but Eden,
Yes, that would be me.
fantastic. And was the fantastic, strong, and capable fellow over here, what is your name? Looking over at in Zen's direction.
Okay. Yes, you can call me Zen.
Well, you're strapping individual, and frankly, no one ever gives enough credit to the folks who do all this legwork and all just putting in all that time and effort.
Thank you. You're absolutely right. Sometimes I just don't feel. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I flex a little bit. My pecs a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just like kind of like very faintly, if it seems like Zen is okay with it, he's checking to make sure he doesn't actually go for it unless you're okay with it. Like, like playfully, like pokes is like, "Oh, you are a strong one. Fantastic to have you here." And who is this explosive, or at least potentially explosive individual over here? And is looking in Victor's direction with like interest, but also with Vince's insight, just a tiny bit of fear, just a very tiny bit of fear.
Absolutely. And well deserved.
Just like, who is? Well, nice to have you, Victor. Wonderful to have you. Now, Vince. Do I have that right? Was it Vince?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here's the forms. Let's just get that all signed off. And again, just standard. Everyone just sign your names right here at the bottom line. We'll all be good. We'll all be good.
Yeah. Tell you what, babes. Let me just put your names down, and he hands out the forms to everybody. Just right at the bottom line. Sign on the X. I'll take care of all the boring stuff. You guys go have some fun for a minute. All right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll catch up with you.
And yeah, with that being the case, Vince can take a little bit of time just working out the details with Alden, and the rest of you have just a bit of time just to explore the whole of this region while this is happening. And pretty much as you walk out, there's just sound. It would be cacophonous, but it seems almost magically enchanted, as though you can all walk through the streets and hear every distinct kind of music coming from different directions. You see like some sort of fiendish creature, massive with dark leathery wings, fully devilish, maybe even near archdevil-like form, with a giant mace on their back, who appears to be playing a massive saxophone of some kind that is of some sort of infernal design. And you just hear like some weird little tune, and it's just like, for some reason, there's 3 or 4 people who suddenly, as that tune finishes, all shout "one," and then they just walk away from it. It's very weird. You hear that from one direction. You see like some folks where there's 10 different images of the same person in this like 5 or 10 foot space. There's runes all around him, and it looks as though he's created sort of a loop pedal-like effect where each one is just repeating a little section, and he's just adding stuff on top of it with his voice. And he's just, depending on where you want to go, what you want to look into, or if you just want to wait for the whole competition to start, it's up to you.
I think Victor will actually go start setting up.
Alrighty, so Victor's looking to set up.
Well, if Victor's setting up, then Zen's there with him because he needs supervision and muscle to move everything.
Okay, so you two are over in
touch that
setup.
power turn. Sorry.
So just the entire time, everyone is keeping like a 5 or 6 foot like distance away from Victor's possible literal explosive personality.
Did I?
Okay.
I think I forgot to mention when I introduced him that he is actually a fire genasi.
Oh, he is literally on fire, and he is around black powder. Oh
Yes.
God, that is even worse. I forgot about that detail. That is, oh God, wonderful. Okay, so those two folk, we can do that a little bit before the full performance stuff kicks in. What are Laurel and Eden up to at this moment?
I was going to go check out our competition, maybe try and find like some inspiration and just kind of walk around and see the sights.
I was very much so going to do that as well.
Okay. So we on our overlay we don't have a display, but feel free to roll, both of you roll me perception checks just to see what specific kind of details. No matter what happens, you're gonna get some details because I love doing checks more that way. But depending on how high you roll, I'll tell you what specific things you're picking up on. Okay, so Eden, it's been a little bit. You've been kind of worn down from the travel over here. So, oh wait, there is a spot in the overlay. That is my mistake. So, Eden, with a 9, what you get with a 9 is you're hearing all these different sounds, and you pick up some little bits of detail. You hear and see what sounds like the equivalent of a drum corps performance being done, but it looks as though there's individuals wearing the equivalent of like breastplates and somewhat arcane enchanted bits of crystal all over their bodies and over their drum gears, and also literal walking mechanical humanoid like figures. So it's essentially it's a warforged and artificer drum corps band that's going around and playing. You see and you hear let me see what is there is you see yes in our chat this is Drum Force. uh there is a group of gnomes who just have random knickknacks all over the place. There's just like bells, there's bits of like copper and gold and dust particles, and you just see them like running around to them. It's like it's like quadruplets running around, hitting different noises, and then it sounds like they're starting to try and make out songs. Like it's basically an experimental percussive group made of just rock gnomes tinkering around with things, but that's about all you pick up. You don't really get details on if they're involved in the competition. But Persephone with a 20, not Persephone, Laurel, pardon, with 823. Both are right, but proper in this context. Laurel with a 23, you pick up some folks who they have this look about them, just this kind of focus that you know they're involved. One, you see this very beautiful wood elf, massive, high up blonde hair, like 50s, 60s kind of huge, like Motown singer inspired kind of like look to it with curls, the aqua spray sort of done up. He's really wonderfully warm and reddish brown skin, this vibrant green, yellow, and red dress. Very beautiful, curvy sort of body. And you just hear her from this distance singing, "Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling. Yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. Oh no. I get a good feeling. Yeah." And like her voice seems like magnified far beyond what should a normal speaking voice be. And a little bit of ways you see a quartet of Kenku, all of them dressed in these nice little kind of suits that have pinstriped red and white sort of peppermint candy kind of pattern to it, and they're all wearing these yellow rounded kind of hats, almost like straw kind of hat. And you hear one of them just open up their mouths, and you hear what sounds like a little music recorder kind of sound go, "Mm," and all four of them begin singing, "I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it." God only knows what I'd be without you, without you. And it's like all very specifically done up sort of movements, and they're just all happy and singing, and they all randomly just have canes walking down the street singing and performing together. But you pick
Mhm.
out these two among a few others as probably your competition.
All right. Okay.
It's just there's a lot of people performing here. It's waves of sound happening everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fun. There's just this energy all around you, and it's not even just the festival with just music. There's smells of just like think of every fried festival food you could ever imagine is just in the air, and there's people carrying around these little pots that look like there's stewed meats and vegetables and fish. There's little skewers with bits of like meat, vegetables, and potatoes that have been made on them with a little bit of a spicy kind of sauce to go along with it to add into it. There's like fried plantains and other things of that sort just being sold and like double crushed. Like you're seeing people juice things directly. It's open grounds, but those two in particular are ones that stand out to you in Eden. Well, you more than anyone else.
Mm-hmm. Lot of good shit.
Yeah, have you seen the those that those drums over there? I think they're pretty nice.
I saw them, but we we do a good fucking job, and if we actually manage to fucking work together, we'll do fine.
Yeah, I'm sure we can. I mean, I can already tell that we're better than at least. He takes a look around, and he doesn't really look like he's looking, but just 80% of the rest of them, not a problem.
I mean, that's a bit presumptuous, but yeah, no, we're gonna win.
I love Laurel's confidence. He makes me happy so much. Big
Look, what? Look, we're great. I need us to win right now. So just, it's fine. It's fine.
And right as you're moving along into this, and you have this very tall, kind of lanky Furbolg actually appear in front of you. Has kind of like a undercut, but the side hair, the left parted side of the hair has sort of been done up more in like kind of a bun. Very, very graceful, very like seven, no, actually more like 7.5, 8 foot tall kind of individual, very warmly dressed. Has a very folk artist kind of vibe to them as well. You see, while you are more of a bardic sort of performer, you see a little totem that's a crystallized bit of amber hanging in a necklace around them that you imagine must be more of a druidic focus. And very beautiful, keenly looking at you. And it's just singing nearby to some other folk.
Ah, it's all good. Yep, just focus on the music and do not get distracted by pretty gals.
Just casually making kind of like very quick flitting eyes over in your direction. And
Laurel's trying not to look, but she's just glancing back occasionally. Because I cannot help but play disaster lesbians.
and as we sort of shift the camera over back to Zen and Victor in this moment, before that happens, you just hear very sweetly this Furbolg individual who probably the most direct way I can put it is channeling big lesbian druid vibes. the last thing you're hearing as this sort of fades away is just her singing, "So move me, babe, shake like the bough of a willow tree. You do it naturally. Move me, babe." Like just sort of occasionally flitting over in you and making googly, kind of like googly eyes a little bit, and also
Mhm.
kind of doing the same over in Eden's direction as well. Like she seems like she's just like looking at you two very happy. As that finishes, we pan over to Zen and Victor, who you see you've gone back into sort of the obviously the backstage section of where the festival grounds, which took a bit of a trip up. So, but you find that someone was very kind enough to pass by, flick a wand, and has enchanted some of your gear to have levitate attached to it. So it's helping you carry the gear as you're going up to the very tip top of one of these pyramidal structures where the full area of it, even though the top is from the outside looking in, it should be smaller in the actual area you're available for people to be. When you get to the top, it's almost like you pass by a veil. You pass through a veil, and there is a massive stage here. Just and as you move into the back area of it, there's instruments everywhere. There's people like in a flurry going all around, and you see one individual who's just kind of like hurriedly and panically looking at his spell book, and he's just like okay, it says something in Elven and Draconic. If either of you speak either of those languages, you hear it, and you see him, you hear something in Orcish where he speaks
That I know.
that you know.
I know Orcish.
So you hear that, and you hear him saying, "By the very powers of Asmodeus himself, rise to my occasion." And you see a summoning circle nearby where you see this very beautiful, like full plate armored devilish woman appear with massive great red blood red wings and a longbow that seems to have arrows tipped with leaking fluid, and she's like, "Who dares summon me from the very pits of the..." Samuel, again? Really? He's like, "Okay, look, I know I keep doing this to all of you, but I don't have enough money to get a band, and you're the best people I know. Can you do me a favor?" He's like, "I'm not going to do this. Well, I also put you in a magic circle, so you kind of have to do this." He's like, no. And she just leaves. "All right, I'll try being nicer. I'll take it away." Then you just see him going, and he starts summoning something else, and you see like other centaurs, but more Fey-like in origin, being summoned. And then you see another few demons being summoned who seem like they're ready to tear him to pieces, but he's like, "I know your true name. You have to obey me if I know your true name." It's like, and you just hear some of them speak in Orcish as well, and they're just like, "Why do we keep coming back for this motherfucker? Why does he keep summoning us? Doesn't he know this damns his soul for all of eternity?" "Yeah, Craig, I know it damns his soul for all of eternity. We'll get it later." It's just arguing demons nearby, and they're like 12, 15 foot tall, and this dude is like 5'3". So they're significantly bigger, but he appears to be a very powerful summoner, and he's bound them to his will. He looks like he's just setting up his own material.
So are they still here? Like, are they
Yeah.
all?
They're all
So
there. He's summoned all of them, and they're all there in different circles, and they're all looking at him very pissed off.
Zen walks over to the first lady that he summoned, and is like, "Hey, come here often." And he definitely tries to pose a little bit while like he has boxes floating behind him, clearly in the middle of doing something, but is just trying to be so cool. And he's so not. He's so not. But he's he saw pretty and he could not say hi.
I mean, that's me and that's mood, so therefore valid. Uh, so if you can for me, roll me roll me a strength check. There is a reason for this. Because normally this would be something this would be more in the range of like charisma or persuasion for, well, actually no, just charisma. But I'm gonna say because you're trying to flex and you're using more strength, I will let you use strength instead. So just roll a strength check and just tell me. Let's see what the result is. That was a strength save, but not a strength
Oh,
check. But that
sorry.
would still be 20. That would still be very high.
Let me do a proper one. I clicked on the wrong thing. That's why.
You're good. Don't worry.
Well,
Either way,
it'd be really funny if he.
Yeah, you're good. Don't worry, you're good. She kind of looks
Okay.
at you, and there's a hint of like. She looks over at Samuel. She looks over at you, and she's like, "Well, I could do worse." She kind of smooths over. She's also noticing Victor, and like goes up to Victor. And he's like, "Do you normally walk around with that much black powder around you?"
Yes.
Yeah, this is actually kind of light, because this was, last minute gig. We usually have a lot more.
You all are fireproof, I hope.
Yes. Don't mortals normally try and maintain their life for as long as possible?
Me.
I mean, I'm pretty hard to break. I'm pretty. I was gonna say rock hard, but that might be a little much.
That's Simon just lowering the glasses right there at that exact moment. It's killing me. I mean, because it rolled so high, it comes off more as like naively charming as opposed to just you
really creepy
or creepy
and gross.
Yeah, like it's more like that's cute.
Oh,
she gives you the time of day, but there's the few other folks who came with you. They direct you to a section in the corner, and where you can set down all of your materials, and you can just take in sort of the other folks who are working back here. If you want to say hi or look around.
Yeah, I'll drop all the stuff off and look for. There's probably a stage coordinator, someone back there who's maybe like in charge of getting everybody in order, right?
Yeah, you do see that there is an individual. There is an Air Ganassi actually, who appears to have a holy symbol around their neck that is a half crescent moon with a little bit of reflective glass going through the center of it, so that it looks like almost in any given light, like moonlight itself is reflecting off it. And their hair, as opposed to, because there's a lot of Air Ganassi sort of descriptions, can have like wispy, windy kind of hair. It's almost seems like it's been enchanted to be this very popping, vibrant red orange color. And they have like this full, almost star-like kind of outfit. And you see just a little name tag that says Z Stardust written along it. And
are they cute?
Very cute. They're very cute, like very, very like broad sort of nose, very high cheekbones, very, very stressed expression on their face. And you just, if you get close to them, you can hear a little bit of like banter that's going along, as they also have a clipboard, not unlike Vince's, where they're just like going over details over everything. It's like, okay, so we got all of the pyrotechnics. The wizard who wanted to set off a wall of fire, we gave him enough room for that. The druid who wanted a tidal wave, we managed to get her to go down from a maelstrom and a tsunami. Do we have this clearance for the interplanar summoners? And it's like, Ziggy, we don't have it cleared yet. He needs. Look, Charlie is bringing in folks from the far realm. He's bringing him from the plane of fire. He's bringing in someone from the nine hells. Like, he's got a lot of people coming in. Yeah, we know. It's just the boundaries, planar travel. Well, get it worked out. Hello there. Hello.
Hey, you look stressed. Is there anything I can do to make your life better?
Well, either help me with getting everyone in order or a back rub. As
Oh, I
Mm.
give great back rubs. I have a very strong grip.
it's like very, like, wasn't it saying the second half not seriously, but is like kind of like, wait, but actually, do you do back rubs? Do you actually do back rubs?
Oh, and if you ask him, he's like, yes.
Like, sure, help.
Sure. I
Wait,
think he's so used to people rejecting him that he's like,
wait a minute. Are you Zen? Do I have that name right?
Yes. Yes, I am Zen.
So, are you Victor?
Yes.
You two, I have followed y'all's work with helping out Eden and Laurel for like 10-15 years. My brother used to like listen to the music and also used to say how well the pyrotechnics and all the stuff must be going great. Like, all the production stuff works because of y'all. Like,
I like knock Victor's shoulder, like, yeah, we're awesome.
Did you get the mortars in?
did I get the what in? What was that?
The mortars.
Okay, so here's the thing. We couldn't get the mortars. We can give you a few Helm of Brilliances to use the prismatic sprays from them. Does that work well enough for you?
Zen, I think we need to go get the wagon.
Really, Vic?
I'm sorry.
It's like 5 miles outside of town. I had to carry everything here. Do I really need to go get the wagon?
Hold on. If
We can't put a show on without mortars.
He's really it's kind of his signature move, and it's really not an Eden and Laurel show without the mortars.
Alrighty. Give me a second. Give me a second. Just like goes to like a back section, and you just see like out of nowhere, just like as though reaching a hand into the ether, pulls out a chest secretly. It looks like it was a very private chest that was left in a separate plane, and then pulls it out and is like, okay, we can accommodate. Please do not set anything actually on fire that cannot be put out in 6 to 12 seconds.
Well,
If
the
you would
mortars are
like
the-
to
for the
be
fireworks.
that works too. If you can be on fire for less than 30, I can make sure the clerics don't have to revivify you.
Fire doesn't harm me.
Fair, but
Victor harms other people, but we've done this many times with hardly any problems. Hardly. Ever.
I hope it's doesn't come off as insulting that my lack of faith is slightly apparent in this moment. But
I mean, it was just the one time, and it was because, there was it was a windy day, but really, hardly a problem.
well, all right. Well, your stuff's all set down. We got everything all set up. Oh, we'll get everything all set up, and y'all are gonna be set to perform real soon. Love y'all. Thank you for doing the work that you do. And just sort of leans into you close. They don't appreciate all the time when we do all this kind of thing.
Oh, I know. I know. Beautiful. So unappreciated. We always appreciate you.
When you say beautiful, there's specks of the windy sort of light blue skin just start turning ever so faintly red. It's like, sure. Um, okay, got it. Got it. Wishing you luck. Best of luck in competition. And from there we pan back over to Alden and Vince talking very quickly because I'm trying to be mindful of time. We're going to move into the competition itself. Alrighty, Vince. I think we've got everything all sorted out. We got all the names and signatures and everything here. We're gonna call that good. I promise. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be perfect.
Oh yeah, who's worried? I'm not worried. Nobody should be worried. I think everything's gonna be fantastic. Everything seems in order. I feel like both me and my clients are getting a very fair deal here, and some fantastic exposure. Love the idea of uh, maybe trying to get some cross promotion here. I think honestly, if you're looking to expand a restaurant business or something like that, there's a lot of crossover between food festivals and music festivals. I think that's something you might be able to really clean up on.
You know, we could. You know what? I might take you up on that. My dad, he was a pretty famous chef, and I always thought I was going to end up going into the same kind of business as him, but it just never panned out. Where I'm from, it didn't always work out that kind of way. You end up going this kind of path, you make a few bad deals, and then your life takes a few awkward left and right turns, and you end up doing this kind of work. But eh, I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Yeah, I've heard things can be a little rough up in F Town. Never been there myself, but I've heard a lot of great things. So
Yeah, yeah, a lot of weird stories. People talk about like our punch bowl and a lot of other things like that. It's really weird. I don't know why. I was just making some weird jokes about different stuff of the town. But anyways, we're all set. Gather your crew in about an hour. Performances will start. Gonna be ready to go.
fabulous.
I'm certain with your group, it'll be a show to die for.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. 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 All right. Just gonna let that one sit. Actually, no. I have a magic item, and I'm gonna use it anyway.
Wait. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I just want to. I'm sure this is a completely innocuous side comment, and that you, the GM, are having some fun. For the sake of the viewers, for funsies, I'd like to expend a charge from my Medallion of Thoughts to cast Detect Thoughts.
Oh, okay. So
It's got
feel
a
free.
save DC of 13
Is it wisdom?
on Wisdom.
Okay. I'm gonna roll that real quick, just for
Shit,
everyone
I
to see.
thought I was the only one that took that.
Okay, and it's wisdom 13. Okay, and is he? Yeah. Okay, roll the same exact thing. So it's detect thoughts. So you get a full sense of like essentially being able to read the person's mind. Correct?
Yeah, initially you get the surface thoughts, whatever is like on its mind at the current moment of the creature, and then as an action, I can go to either another creature thoughts for the duration of the concentration, which is a minute, or I can go deeper into his mind. If I go deeper, he makes another save.
Okay. So the initial thoughts are like, man, such a good fella. Love working with these kind of cats. Feels like being back home. Feels like working with those kind of folks who just have a good eye for detail. They're just keen and insightful. Because he failed to save, you can peer a little bit deeper. Correct? Do I
Yeah,
have
I'll
that
go a
right?
little bit lower down. Yeah.
You know, this kind of work it's sad sometimes. You gotta rope people into signing stuff that they probably don't want to sign away. But that's unfortunate. It's part of the business. It's part of what you do here.
I'm an inquisitive rogue. uh
Inquisitive Rogue as a band manager is an amazing pairing.
it was the only way that I could mechanically justify the concept, or I wouldn't have gone with it. But I love it. Um, I would like to recall all of the forms that I just signed with that context and see if we didn't sign away something extremely important, or if it was just
Yeah,
like
feel
licensing rights.
Yeah, roll me, let's say insight.
Okay.
Roll me insight, which I know you're already trained in,
Yes.
and just to see what specific details you pick up on.
Yep. I have. I was just looking at my character sheet. I have expertise in insight, and if I screw this up, and still come out of it looking pretty good. So that should include an extra 4 in the result.
Okay.
So I think it's 25.
Yeah, that'll be a
Yeah.
25. That is the exact DC you needed to meet.
Beautiful.
This is a very on the surface pleasant and kind individual with a very duplicitous undercurrent to them. Recalling all of the details in the forms that you signed, in which you've signed off for all of your party members,
Mm-hmm.
You notice as you're starting to pull away, and as Alden has finished like doing the whole like shaking the hand, and it's like it's a good day to get good business vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Your eye catches on some of the material. Now, normally this would be something that more of an arcane practitioner would pick up on, but you have a keen eye, and you roll just high enough to notice that there's something slightly off about the script. It's illusory in nature. Something about it seems a little weird. You don't know what it is, but you know definitively what you've agreed to is not entirely what's all on the contract that you're seeing.
Right. So he is still shaking Mr. Fietti's hand, and he stops mid-shake, and his grip gets a little tighter, and he sort of leans in over his rose-colored glasses. Mr. Fietti, buddy, now that we've had this fantastic conversation, there wouldn't be anything else that you'd need to talk to me about, would there be? I mean, the fine print and all, we've all seen it, but
And see if he picks up on what you might be hinting at. Okay. Like, all right, you got me. Just trying to get a bit of a cut out of the performances and the merchandise out of everyone here. I've managed to get about 30-40% out of it from every single person here. And the only one to have ever picked up on it, my friend.
well, that's because I consider myself a consummate professional and I like to do right by my people. Now, I'm sure you want to do right by yourself and your people as well. So I think, I'm not saying anything, right? I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying that if sometimes we just have to make our money, any way we can, and I want to make sure that we do what's right and most equitable for everybody involved here. Now, if we were to put a 1 and 2 zeros behind whatever proceedings that we would be being paid for this whole situation, perhaps we could make this whole thing go away.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I'd love to. I'd love nothing more.
Because you're also expertise in this too.
I have expertise in that.
The best manager is the one who is a rogue with expertise in persuasion.
You better believe it, baby.
He straight up like rips up the specific contracts that he had for you.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls out fresh ones. And he's like, all right, fine. Here's the legit ones. It's fine.
I mean, no disrespect, Mr. Fietti. You've got to get paid, and I've got to get paid, and we're both business people. We both know the way these things work. Let me just fill these out real quick for you, and we'll make sure that nothing untoward has to happen. And he just rapidly just goes through everything and passes the papers back, more confident that perhaps he hasn't been screwed out of anything this time.
And you have a pretty clear sense based off of what you've looked into that this deal is much better and in your favor.
Yeah. Mr. Fietti, I hope we can continue this amicable business partnership in the future. All different kinds of licensing. Uh, you know, you'll come. One thing you'll come to know about me and the way I like to work is that I have everybody's best interest at heart.
I try to also have the same, but everyone's interest is usually my interest after a certain point. But, I can understand when I have been beat and when I have been made. I am willing to accept what happens.
Well, it is what it is, and when Edel and Laurel take home the pick of destiny, you will be acquiring interest. So we'll just see how things pan out, but I think we'll all be very happy at the end of the night.
I'm sure we
If
will
you'll
be.
excuse me, I have my people to take care of.
No worries. And so he walks away, and the forms are signed, much better in your favor. And the festival carries on, all the sounds everywhere around you. You hear occasional there's major images with sound and everything happening as you're like heading back, going up. But people have sort of started making, I'm going to say the best comparison I have is like lo-fi trip hop kind of sampled records and live performances by like letting a major image of a certain song piece play and then someone loops it while other people perform and add almost jazzy-ish sort of tunes on top of it. So you're having all of that happening. You're hearing a drow band as the night is starting to come in. The bioluminescent drow band kicks in and you hear very space poppy kind of songs and voices coming out of these different members. And as you reach the top, the stage, bright lights everywhere. It is a light. You hear hundreds of people slowly coming in. And there's this roar of excitement. And you, being with the keen eye and the perception that you have, you're hearing people talking about a few different competitors. You hear them like going in about like, oh man, I'm so hyped to get these people. I haven't heard them in like 15 years. Oh man, we have some new folks who coming in, like new talent. It's going to be great. And you distinctly hear Eden and Laurel's names being mentioned a lot. There's a lot of fanfare and a lot of like hype being brought up for it. The
Brushing
rest,
off some shoulders.
you're just like, yes, and you're just like,
Adjust the glasses, adjust the tie.
and the rest of the group has convened backstage, and it is the moments leading up to when you perform. You're hearing one last group, a couple of groups going to be performing ahead of you, and there's some interesting folks who show up. There's a random band who refers to themselves as the Archways, just appearing as well, and they have. I already appreciate how much people start laughing when I say these names. You see a little bit ahead of you, there's a singular tiefling who appears to be playing a trombone-like instrument, but has fire like coming out of it. So it's like a pyro trombone, which this is actually a real thing for anyone watching this, like pyrokinetics with trombone players and like street festivals and street band things. But this is coming, he's using his hellish rebuke to channel fire out of the end of the trombone. And you also hear, what is the other one that I came up with? Oh yeah, there is a full Fire Ganassi band referred to, what did I give these people the name? There's a group called the Fire Beatles that you all have very Sergeant Pepper-esque outfits on and very mop top style hair. They're performing and they seem like they've played a lot of like old hits that a lot of people like, but Vince, coming into this moment, you're hearing they do seem to get like too much credit. It's like, yeah, they're a little overhyped. And now it comes to the moment where your group has the chance to get onto stage and perform. Now, the way this works you have, let's say, three kind of categories that you as a group can collectively choose to aid in whatever way you see, which is the performance itself, crowd interaction, and stage presence. So crowd interaction could be anything that you do, whether it's spectacle, enchantment, dazzling them, whatever you can think of. Performance, just the elements of whatever you sing or perform, dance, anything. And then actual stage presence, anything you do in interacting with the stage that you can think up to make yourself more grand, to stand out. Because some people perform and it's like, yeah, he sings okay, but Jesus, that pyro trombone, man, that's going to stay with me forever. Some folks sound really great, but they don't really like play to the crowd. They just seem like they're playing for themselves. You see kind of a like mopey looking kind of singer he's dressed as what did I say? It was Aarakocra, kind of eagle-based kind of Aarakocra, who has a slicked back rockabilly inspired haircut, just randomly singing, "Do I want to know if this feeling goes ways? Glad to see you gone." And it's just like singing, but he's not really working with the crowd. He seems like he's just in his own world. It's like he thinks it's a coffee shop when it's hundreds of people. And now it comes to your group. What do you do as a group or individually? What do you consider your performance? What do you consider your stage presence? What do you do to hype up the crowd?
Okay. I have one or two ideas. Especially because I have my fucking magic ass mandolin. I can have both Eden and I fly. I can use hallucinatory terrain. Even not as a spell. I can make myself look all sorts of pretty and fantastic.
No? Think over your options, and then as a group decide, figure out what you want to do.
Okay.
Can I ask if there are any birds in the area?
Yes, there would be. There are a variety of both normal sized and giant sized eagles and condors that are flying around. That folks seem to have been using them. It looks as though there have been a lot of folks who have a little bit less in the mobility department. Usually, a lot of folks with physical disabilities and such who have been getting help with additional either condor and eagle mounts, or there are a spider sort of like their transit system is that, or like a public transit system is both literal giant spiders that have been adapted for people to ride, and also driders who offer as a community service for folks who have lower mobility or deal with chronic issues and with pain and such to go around. So like there are a lot of creatures all around here.
So I have speak with animals.
We're gonna need to clear the airspace.
Well, that's true. So as part of, for safety, so we don't damage any of those with our pyrotechnics, can I do speak with animals to have all of the birds fly out from the stage over the audience?
Yeah.
Like the introduction to get everybody fired up, and yeah, and then we can set off the fire for it, and that's like the entrance for Eden and Laurel.
Yes, I love that. That image is amazing. So you have speak with animals. I'm assuming, are you was it Path of the Totem barbarian? Do I have that right?
Yes, so
Okay,
I can do that
so,
at
and
will.
you use wisdom for that, correct? For casting the actual spell?
Yes.
Okay, so in that case, I want you to roll me a wisdom check just to see how well it is, no matter what, because you're describing that. And I'm going to say roll it twice because you're rolling it at advantage, because that is an amazing image. And as your DM, I just want to give you advantage because that's fun. and it's cool to imagine that. So that's
All right,
10.
let me try and do another one.
So we'll take the 10. So
Ooh,
so that's one element of this. So that's
okay.
because it's you and Victor working together to
Mhm.
try and help set up this kind of element. Victor,
Okay.
Yes.
what would you like to try and add to any element of this? It could be the performance itself, or it could be stage presence or crowd interaction.
Uh, s- I think the first, like, there's going to be kind of a wall of fire at the at first, like consuming the entire stage. And that's just after like the birds clear the stage, and then once that happens, it'll probably be more the mortars that actually got set back in the audience just launch and go over the head to the over the crowd.
Okay, so I'm trying to think. Are there any specific tools that you're trained with in using these kinds of things or in creating as because you're a gunslinger, correct?
I am a gunslinger, and mortars are actually part of the gunslinger class. They are a created item.
Okay, but do you have tool proficiencies of any kind that are related to that?
I have tinker's tools and alchemist tools.
Okay, so I will allow you to make a check with either of those. If there's no specific thing, then I believe it would be we can just say wisdom or intelligence, whichever you prefer, and we'll add your proficiency bonus to whatever that check is. And we'll see what the impact is and how it mingles with Zen's attempt to corral the birds, because it does start to work, but there might be a complication that comes up depending on how well or how poorly you roll.
So it's clicking, but it's not rolling.
Okay,
I
so
think there's something wrong there, so I'll just type it.
yeah, no worries. D20 plus whatever your wisdom or intelligence is, and while that's happening, while the fire and stuff is getting set up, Vince, if there's something else you would like to contribute, because there's getting people with performance, there's getting people hyped. If there's anything underhanded that you might want to do, or anything just charming you would like to do to help with this.
Oh yeah, Vince is in the crowd, so he's slowly like walking through. He's watching the stage. It's like, oh, they've got it. They don't need my help. But he's also a promoter, right? So he's walking around slowly, seeing like, is this person into it? Do they seem like they're getting into it? I got my bag. I'm gonna go in and like pull out, like, hey, check it out. These guys are really good, aren't you? Hey, you're a medium, right? Gives them a T-shirt. Walks around like, hey, you like these guys? Listen, I got codes for. I got here. Take this scroll. You redeem this code. You get to it'll seal it into a sounding stone. You'll be able to keep it forever. It's DRM free. Over here, hey, you look like you're a bunch of fun kids. Have some glow sticks. What do you think? These guys are pretty good, right? You're a large? Tosses them a shirt.
I think that is very clearly a persuasion.
Yeah.
Or performance, whichever one you would like to do. Okay, this doesn't
persuasion.
matter. Holy fuck, that's a 30 on persuasion. Okay. The crowd is paying attention because we're thinking of this. These are all happening sort of simultaneously. All right, Tinker's Tools.
Ooh.
So the DC was originally 15 for getting just something satisfactory. It increased because it wasn't met with Zen's input to an 18. So Victor's input, so Zen, here's what happens, and this is happening simultaneously as Laurel and Eden are about to jump onto the stage for their entrance. Or, well, actually, I won't say that they're jumping on because I'll let them describe that. The birds seem a little reticent about listening to you, Zen. They're like, I don't know, we're pretty good, we're kind of tired. But by sheer force of will and charismatic presence, it's almost as though Vince's just personality transcends language to animals and other creatures in the area. And mingles with your own actual words they're able to understand. And they start getting a little bit more into it, but Victor, as the fire goes off, the wall of fire and everything goes off from the crowd, the fireworks, the pyrokinetic displays are happening in the air. The crowd just erupts into excitement. It goes from like, okay, yeah, like it's been a pretty good time so far. It's been somewhat enjoyable to like, oh wow, this looks amazing. Look, honey, they have birds. They got birds. Wait, like, are they allowed to get birds? Yeah, no, it's fine. It's part of the code. We're good. We're covered. It's like, what if they drop shit on us? No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. They'll clean it up. The stage is set. Stage presence has been achieved. The crowd is hyped. How do Laurel and Eden contribute? What is their performance?
Okay. So, at least going by the traditional D&D thing, I have things I can do as a bonus action and then other actiony things.
Describe it. Describe whatever you
Okay.
would like to do.
Just fucking coming out full mantle of inspiration just as she comes out. Her hair, which is normally black, just her eyes and hair just go full fucking rainbow and just jamming on the mandolin. And then I'll let you describe what he does. And then just absolutely slams in to the fan favorite song, Fascist Assholes Can Lick My Hooves.
Damn it. That title is going to stick with me after this point.
It's great.
Great
Eden.
album.
Eden, it is your call. You feel free, however you would like to contribute. Do you build off of this? Do you start your own thing that follows, like after Laurel has had a bit to maybe go off of that, or do you add on to this? What are you doing? How do you continue this hype and this performance going?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of, maybe he would do something like Sammy Hagar, where he would climb up onto the rafters and then try to do a flip, maybe, and then slide out towards the audience. Maybe throw like 2 or 3 picks in there off their, when they went platinum off their sophomore album, he kept a couple of them, and then just scream like this really big, loud, like rock star, just high.
All right.
Oh, also another thing that just happens because I'm a glamour bard. Definitely at the end of the performance,
Performance.
What?
Oh, I was gonna say enthralling performance. I forgot about that.
Yep. At the end of it, even after I roll probably for performance, if that's what you have me do.
Yep. I'm gonna say
Choose a number of humanoids within 60 feet who watched and listened to all of it, which is 5. Each target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw equal to your spell save DC or be charmed. They have disadvantage because of my instrument of the bards. While charmed in this way, the target idolizes you. It speaks glowingly of you to anyone who speaks to it and hinders anyone who opposes you, avoiding violence unless it was already inclined to fight on your behalf.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of that in mind, Eden, either performance or persuasion or acrobatics. You can use any 3 of those that you'd like. Laurel, performance. I think we know it's going to be performance.
Natural 20 for 33.
Jesus Christ.
Bring on the fans.
Jesus Christ. I love Glamour Bards so much.
Bards in
Yeah, I
general.
have
Holy
expertise in it.
Bards in general, I love bards. Glamour bards, if you want to be the most charismatic person that's ever existed, play a glamour bard. If you
Do
just
you hear
want
the
to be...
pipes on these people? It's fantastic, isn't it? What are you, a small?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's just even through this, like the band is hearing the very clear tone, and not in a way that interrupts the music, but you're just very clearly hearing Vince just hawking everything, and it's like that was a good roll to make up for the birds earlier, even with the low performance roll. The crit, and with how high that is, because I was gonna make like superstar status going to be a 25. You have a 33.
Yeah.
That's there is this moment where the whole performance goes down in Eden when you do the flip. When you do the flip and then you just slide out to the crowd and the picks go out, there is a moment where you lose your footing to sort of represent the kind of low roll you got, and you're about, like, people start getting the oh my god, oh no face as you're about to like fall into the crowd. By sheer force of glamorous, magnetic, charismatic personality, it's as though Laurel's music and voice lifts you up into the air and you land perfectly, whether intended or not, riding the crowd who is hype. All of a sudden, people already have t-shirts with all the band's name on it. Like, it's confusing to how quickly Vince has gone through and sold so many of these. And it's just a moment of pure bliss as you lose track of time. You're falling, you're riding, and then you're back on the stage up on your feet, and there's like 6 people desperately trying to grab you, and then near Laurel there's about 15 people desperately trying to get on the stage to go for her. The crowd continues. Just the hype level is otherworldly, almost literally, in that you start seeing some of the interplanar travelers who have come for the festival. Like, you swear, as frightening as it is to imagine, just out of game, as frightening as it is to imagine, you swear you see a large singular eyeballed creature floating up above the crowd with multiple eye stalks, but each of the eye stalks is wrapped around a little flag that is like cheering for all of you. There are several like octopus face individuals with really bright rainbow like colored robes that are like cheering on for you and like raising their like tentacled face up in praise of the band.
I'm sure they'd love to pick our brains.
Only partially. Only partially, and then entirely.
The beholder is far enough away that the magical effects still
No.
work,
The
right?
anti-magic cone is not on. For those of you who
Okay.
realize it's a beholder, it's not. Don't worry, it's not affecting it.
I was a bit scared there for a second.
It's just like, oh no, the magic's gonna stop. No, and with a crit, I was gonna actually roll like 15 people. With a crit, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm gonna say that's like double disadvantage on the rolls.
Yeah.
Pass. It is a moment where, if there had ever been tension in the group in its history, if there had ever been moments where you thought, maybe this isn't the thing I want to do together, that all just fades back as your group is praised for this performance. There were amazing groups that went on before you. There was an individual performing with a small gnome band with almost full-on Mardi Gras style music, festive and boisterous and wonderful performing that shook the crowd who fell in love with the singer. There was a pair of changelings, twins, who would change their form so that half of their bodies would be different individuals, and they would have a set of 4 voices singing all at the same time. You were hearing about these throughout the performances, throughout this whole event. But in this moment, no one is talking about them. Everyone is talking about you. And as the crowd dies down, and as the performance, as literally probably reaches a point where there's like 15 people who are like trying to like push past you to get to Laurel and Eden. They're like trying to physically climb over you to get to them. The lights go out and a singular spotlight falls down as Laurel and Eden have moved away from the stage, and you see Alden Fieri there saying, "It's fantastic to have had you all here. We're going to convene with the judges, and our results will be back in just a bit." And that is where we're going to take a break for our one shot for this evening. We will be back in about 10 minutes to see what goes down and what results from this, as our fantastic critting individuals continuing the streak of Simon, who never rolled low. We will be back in about 10 minutes for this. Again, thank you to our patrons on the Patreon and Host with the Most tier. Thank you everyone who has already been tuning in for this ridiculous mess and all of the music puns and other guest NPCs and musicians and such. And we will be back in about 10 minutes. So we love you all. I love our players, and we will see you all in about 10 minutes. All right. So our producer will cue us out, and we'll see you soon, everyone.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot, your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware, it's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a $1 or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So, thank you for being patient with us as we get through some of our slight technical issues. We are having one player whose computer is suddenly deciding to take a short rest in the middle of an actual stream. So, hopefully, that short rest can be fixed as quickly as possible, and we will ping our wonderful roadie Zen back into this as soon as possible. But jumping back into this, a fantastic 33 rolled performance on a natural 20 from one of our singers and performers. Laurel Rolled has won some of the crowd's attention. It's won the love of people that got hyped up by Vince's natural charm and all of the pyrotechnic displays by Victor and the avian additions added by Zen. It's reached a moment where the illustrious sort of manager and presumed facilitator of all of these events and such, Alden Fiei has appeared on the stage once again. We are there, and it is this moment where Alden Fiei has a spotlight on him. It says he has come back from engaging with Alden, as in like ALDEN or ALDIN, whichever one you would prefer. He is fine with either of those. He comes back onto the stage and he says, "Wonderful, fantastic people. I love you all. This has been amazing. We have seen some great performances. We have seen death-defying leaps happening from our most stunning of performers. We have seen the amazing vocal talents of our lovely changeling pair over there. Like, everyone give just a little bit of hype. Just a little bit of hype and applause for Lisa and Naomi over there for their wonderful group. And just give a little praise for our Fire Beatles. Hey, local group, we love them. We know you love them. This is great." And, of course, our fantastic Laurel Eden pyrokinetic display, that voice, that performance, everyone, just give it up. And like the moment, he doesn't even get to say the last bit of what he wants to say because the crowd just erupts into cheers. But you know, as much as we love them all, we got to decide who the ultimate winner of the Pick of Destiny is. I convene with our judges. We have talked. We have thought this over in great detail. And we have come to the conclusion that the winner of this year's Battle of the Bards, it's me, actually. Because the funny thing about signing a contract is y'all should learn to read the fine print better. And you watch as he just points a finger and just starts making a tear as though it's right in the center of reality itself. And a portal begins opening, bright red and fiery, as hordes of devils begin emerging out of it. You know, when you sign on for a festival, you should probably make sure you don't sign away your soul in the process.
Knew it. I knew it.
I knew it.
You'd probably read the fine print, and you really shouldn't sign your soul away to a devil like me. And you see the like halfling form with the spiky hair of like platinum blonde frosted tips, the red orange Hot Wheel robe color scheme slowly begin to extend and expand into something far more spiny. The hair extends out into spikes and bony protrusions going down the whole of his back, a long stinger emerging from behind him, and 4 bright red and orange six bright red and orange insectoid wings. As I would say, probably Vince is the most keen with experience with a lot of different types. You have a sense of what this is. This is a bone devil. And you see him begin to start flying away through the crowd and picking up people. Says, "Don't worry, I'll be back for you, Vince. Because you still signed away your soul to happen in a bit. You didn't read the print well enough, my friend. I'll come back for you." And he looks like as though he's about to escape with people.
Can I cast a spell or something on him?
You can. He's about 30, 45 feet away from you. Like, this is all happening like all at once. The portal has opened up and the crowd is scattering. The whole stage
on.
is just open now.
I need to see what the range. Oh, that's perfect. I will cast Dispel Magic from my Instrument of the Bards on the portal.
Alrighty. I need you to roll a charisma check.
Alrighty.
It is a quite high level spell that you're trying to break through.
I have max charisma. 25.
That is enough. As that happens, there are still a few scant devils roaming around the area, but the portal just closes. The crowd is still freaking out. People are still terrified all around. And flying up in the air, this bone devil of Alden Fieri turns around, says, "Oh, hon, you just made the biggest mistake of your life." And he starts flying at you.
All right.
It's gonna be initiative, everybody.
Yup.
Cool.
You gotta fight Alden. You gotta fight Fieri. You gotta fight a bone devil.
Bone devils aren't that difficult, are they?
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right, so as a note for everyone, be sure you click your token and then do your initiative, or click your token, right-click to do add turn, and then manually put in initiative to make sure you have that going. If you've already rolled it, then just go to your token, click it, and then right-click it to add turn, and then manually type in the turn order. Or I can do that for you, either way, whichever one you'd like. But yeah, we're getting to a point where combat is, or if not combat, a confrontation is in full swing. I think that's a better way of putting it. And I'm going to give praise to Slimutha in the chat, literally being like a wrestling announcer being, "I can't believe my eyes, Johnny, you just ripped a portal to hell. This is turning into the match of a century." Which, for whatever reason, you do see someone nearby suddenly with a big announcer voice being like, "Let's get ready to rumble."
I mean, in very Tenacious D style, we are gonna play the greatest song in the world.
It's just
and
gonna
kick
be
a devil's
combat.
ass.
Yeah, exactly. You are going to try and kick a devil's ass.
Yes.
Do I just play a token, or do you do that for me?
In order to put a token down, you just go to the journal, and
Yep.
drag your name over onto the map, and that'll put your token on the map.
Oh.
Okay, so Kellen.
Sorry, that's. I'm trying to switch that over, and I didn't click my person. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. I
Sounds
just
good.
I can do that
It's
right
being
now.
finicky.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Sometimes it's not always intuitive. It's really helpful for tracking a lot of things, but it's not always the most intuitive. So yeah,
And
don't
22
worry.
and it's now an 8.
No, keep the 22
All right.
because you rolled that originally. I'm not going to penalize you just for something being finicky with stuff.
I'll give myself a cool token too.
Yep. But there we go. So we have Laurel, we have Eden, we have 2 of those individuals. And who were we missing? I think we're missing Victor, who rolled earlier. I'm going to add.
Then also Simon.
I'm on. Yeah, I'm on the.
Oh, you are. That's my mistake in that case. Are you on the initiative tracker? Let me just double
I
check.
am not, and I don't know why.
Okay. Am I moving your token right now?
Yes.
Okay, so you
I'll
rolled a
put
15. I'll add it manually. Okay.
Let me see if I can put a photo in real quick.
Okie doke. And then, so we have everyone but Zen is on the board because Zen was not able, unfortunately, to be here in this moment. Zen is Barb. And Zen has advantage on initiative rolls. So if there's better than a 5, that would be great. Yes, that's a 19. So, okay, we have all of the numbers and the clickety-clack things having been decided. So first up, Eden, you see having landed on the ground, this long, spiny, stingered, red and orange, flaming bone devil that once was the charming and interesting, but ultimately duplicitous form of Fieri has appeared in front of you. It's your go. What do you do? He's about, where are we at? Just for reference for everyone, because reviewers, because it takes up space in the overlay, the players are roughly 20 to 30 feet away in a large sort of open map that has individual NPCs and passerbys who are nearby. The rest of the party is about 20, 30 feet away from this bone devil on the map who's just sort of flying around and has landed to try and begin the assault on the party. But Eden, you're up first. What are you doing?
Just to make sure, he's the only person that would perceive as like a threat at this point.
As
Right,
far
well,
as
in
you
front of
know,
us.
in front of you, as far as you know.
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing I shall do is cast Hunter's Mark on
Hunter's Mark.
him. Yeah.
Pink. He has been marked.
Yes, and then attack with a longbow.
All right, make your shots. See if you can land and break through this spiny armor. Unfortunately, an 18 just misses the strong, bony carapace that surrounds this entire devil's form. The arrow first shot goes, does not land, unfortunately.
I'm gonna do an extra attack.
Shot number 2 coming on in. What's happening with that shot? That is a crit. That will land. Excuse me. Unfortunately, that is low crit damage. But it's still, hey, it adds up. It does damage.
And you are familiar with the Gloomstalker's third attack, correct?
Yes, on your first turn, you get an additional attack because your Gloomstalkers are overpowered in the first turn.
Yes, and that's not gonna hit.
Unfortunately, that is not going to hit, although you do not have... It's a D6 for your Hunter's Mark additional damage while you're still focusing on it, correct? Okay, so just roll in the chat /R space 1d6, and that will do you damage. So that's one
gonna be a
additional
one.
damage. So
Damage is damage.
damage is damage. That's how that works out. Now, are you going to move at all in any way? Because you got plenty of space to just fire from here, but if you want to move, you can feel free to do so.
I can move. I believe with the extra 10, I can move like 40 feet.
Yes.
Let me look. I'm probably just gonna like move back, get away. At least back here,
Gotcha.
and then that's gonna be my turn pretty much.
Alrighty. Next up is what you would assume to be Laurel is about to take the next move as you are prepping whatever action you are going to do. But swooping in from the side, a large, lightly blue-skinned and very spiny-like creature with leathery, almost magenta-colored wings, a trident in one hand, and a face that is not unlike the two individuals who had been flanking Fieri earlier in the day, is another figure who Vince would recognize as a spined devil. Much weaker, not quite as strong as the normal bone devil, but still a bit of an issue. As this creature swoops with a flying speed of 40 feet and is going to go towards the bowman who has attacked his employer. And is going to make his 2 attacks on you. He's going to do the thing and going to try and attack you. He's going to try and hit you with his bite.
Doesn't the person with no token get a opportunity attack because they went right by?
It's flying ahead.
Oh, okay, never
It's
mind.
flying above and swooping down.
Okay.
They also have flyby, so they do not actually get
Okay.
opportunity attacks when they fly away. I'm pretty certain a 23 hits you.
Oh,
Eden.
definitely.
So for the first hit with its bite, that is going to be 8 points of slashing damage towards you. And then the second one with its fork is going to be a 20 to hit you, an unnatural 20. So that will be 6 points of piercing. And you see as this long fork trident just goes towards you. And it's very strange. The trident does look like some sort of infernal fork. Goes and pokes you right in the gut. It lights on fire, and the creature is like, wonder if the boss is going to like you cooked this intense. I'll have to think about that. Also, hello, we have a Fiona back.
Hey y'all, I hate technology.
It happens. Don't worry. You come back in as a betrayal that was unexpected, where Alden Fiedi has revealed himself to not be the halfling you thought he was, but in fact a bone devil who has
Of course.
attempted to open up a portal to unleash a horde of devils upon the festival, which Laurel, with a very high roll, managed to seal entirely. But now he has turned his attention to the party and is attempting to take them down for ruining his plans to cash in on the soul contracts you've all signed unwittingly. But
I see.
I have rolled for you, but basically Eden has taken a few shots at the bone devil, and now one spine devil has appeared alongside the side area of this map and has flown down and struck Eden twice, one biting him on the shoulder and the other one poking him right in the gut with an infernal fork.
Can't have that.
Nope, probably shouldn't have that. And then is gonna stay there flying 5 feet above Eden, but staying within his attack range. And now it moves over to our Centaur Bard Extraordinaire, Laurel. What are you doing with your turn? Zen, you are going to be up next after that, so figure out what you're going to do when your turn comes up. But it is Laurel's turn. What you doing?
Okay, first things first. I will use a bonus action to Mantle of Inspiration ahead and give all my bandmates +1 random crowd member. I don't know this one because I'm assuming it's the Furbulk who looked pretty earlier.
Enforce the gay. Enforce the gay.
Wait, no, I can only do it all of the bandmates. Never mind. Unfortunately, she does not get 11 temporary hit points, but all the people who are in the band are, and can also immediately use their reaction to move up to their speed without provoking opportunity attacks. So Eden, you can use that, and also everybody can. So
Right now?
yes,
Oh God, I'm leaving.
I have a 40-foot move speed, so I am going up here. And then, as an action, I do not have many attack spells, unfortunately, but I do have one of the best spells, at least flavor-wise, Vicious Mockery, which I am going to use on the Bone Devil.
You are going to attempt to mock
Yes.
Nyx Fieri in their form as he attempts to strike down on you.
Has to make a Wisdom save, or take 7 damage, and has disadvantage on the next attack roll.
So you watch as your words attempt to reach out and inflict satirical and caustic psychic damage upon the Fieri demon, the devil's psyche, but unfortunately you watch as your words attempt to affect him. They are repelled as some sort of slight shimmer appears across his form, and he appears resistant to this magic, and it does not go through.
Okay.
So you're now aware, mechanically out of game, he has magic resistance. So you at least know
Okay.
that. But that is your
Well,
turn, that is your
shit.
movement, and your
Yeah.
bonus action. So I believe that is your turn. Unless-
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Zen, just as a note, I'm going to be letting Vince move because I thought I had added his token to the order and I did not. So I'm going to let him take his turn now, and then it'll be
Okay.
yours right afterwards. So
Okay.
No problem.
all good.
I'll make it quick. So I've already used my move for free from that wonderful buff. So now I'm in range. So Vince was handing out a shirt. Like, what are you, an XL? Hang on, I got to see somebody about a demon. He runs backwards, unsheathes his rapier from his belt, says "Showtime." So his glamored suit reverts from looking like a suit to being a suit of studded magical armor. And he brandishes his rapier at the flying creature. It says, "Hands off the merchandise." And so he's just going to swing. Actually, since there's no one nearby, the first thing he's going to do is, as a bonus action, use Insightful Fighting. So as a bonus action, I can make an insight check against that creature's deception. And if I succeed, I can use my sneak attack, even if there's nobody within 5 feet.
Excellent, excellent. So he is going to try and deceive you in regards to his true weaknesses as a devil. That's weirdly cocked. What happened there? That is all right. What do you got, Vince? Oh, damn it.
Yeah, 28 plus 4.
You rolled well too. You got a 23. So you see, amidst all of the bones across of his body, there's just little distinct spots where it almost looks like, I don't know, maybe burger stains or something mark different points where the joints are slightly weakened from like grease or like infernal dishes that have been consumed, perhaps even a soul that was left over, but it seems to have worn down some parts of his bony carapace, and you sightfully see where he is weak.
Ugh,
Insightful fighting
that's
works.
terrible for you.
That is 19. Yeah, we'll ignore the finesse part. The 19, that is without advantage, so roll one more time just to see if you roll a crit.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
The 19 just hits.
Bless. Let's do some damage here.
So we'll get that damage.
Why is it doing that?
I have no idea. Hold on. Let me...
There
we go. Because
okay,
you have to
cool.
click the actual named weapon part. Also, you're using a rapier from this far away, or are you trying to use... Because you use a rapier, you'd have to be up close with him.
Am I not right up close? I thought he was hovering above. Still
Oh,
within.
where on the map it's indicated? That's where he's at right now.
Oh, yeah. So I should be like on his square.
Yeah, you would be
Yeah.
like right next to him. Yeah, I can also just move him like right next to you. That way it's
Okay.
just simpler, so you don't have to move because I did describe it as he was right on all of you. So
Oh,
you have
okay.
the 5, and however much sneak attack you have at this level, add that on
Yeah.
top of that.
It's 5d6.
So add that on top.
21.
All right, so that's 26 points of damage total. It's a good solid hit. It looks as though your blade manages to pierce through a section of his armor.
Sweet.
All right, so that is your turn. And now we get to Zen's turn.
Okay, so to make sure I understand where, oh, the bone guy is now in this corner with me, and is that Eden? That token?
The one, because yours is the only token that does not
Without a
have
face,
without a
'cause I'm-
face, so yours is
Because I'm
distinct.
special. I'm a special person.
This is how that happens. It breaks down. You're wonderful. You're gorgeous.
Yeah,
Fantastic. All of the words.
Fantastic.
All the
Okay.
words that make you feel better. But yeah, that's Vince to the south of you. Eden is a bit a ways because he used his reaction to get away, and so did Victor.
Okay.
But so the Bone Devil is 5 feet away from you, so right next to you.
Right. And is there one of his helpers is there too, or is
One of
that-
his helpers was right next to Eden, but Eden was able to use his reaction
Okay.
because of Laurel's ability to move away without taking an attack of opportunity. So right now it's just Vince and you up on the Bone Devil, while the Spine Devil is also behind Vince right now.
Okay, so I'm going to go into a rage because of course I am. And I am going to do a sequence of things. So the Bone Devil is, you said 5 feet away from me, just kind of hovering over the ground,
Yes.
right? Okay, so I have a ring of jumping.
You would still be able to hit him with your height and everything from here, so you don't
Okay.
have to
So,
do that.
well, I am trying to aim for his head. So
that
how
works.
so just to give me a little bit of oomph, and I'm going to start with a right hook. So I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Let me.
So click that for
There
your
you go.
attack. Unfortunately, that does not land.
That's okay.
And-
I get a second action.
Alrighty.
And so I'm
Roll
going.
that second attack.
So yeah, let me pull that real quick. Where's my attack roll?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties
Yeah,
again.
no worries. No worries. It happens. It happens. If you need me to roll at any point, just let me know.
Yeah, if you could
Ooh.
roll that for me, because
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now all I can do is roll my weapons dice.
Yeah, you
and
can
that
be
doesn't
using your
work.
weapons because even without this,
Okay.
you still would have had time to go and get your weapons as well.
Right. So yeah. So the next one is with the great axe. So 15 or 16 does not hit, or does one of those hit?
Neither of those hit. And
Ah.
roll for one more time for me, if you wouldn't mind.
Mm-hmm. An attack roll.
Yeah, just one more time. And there's a reason for this. So what happens is that this didn't kick in on Vince's turn because we sort of went a little bit out of order. But
Okay.
as your turn starts, you find that slowly appearing around Alan Fietti in a 15-foot cloud around him,
Mm-hmm.
there's this very peppery cloud of spice that just begins to appear. We might refer to it as an aura of flavor and seasoning.
I see.
That while it is in effect, anyone who's within that cloud will suffer the poison condition.
Well, I do get to dash away as my totem, being the eagle, makes me quick on my feet. So I whiff twice and then run away.
Run away!
Run away!
Yep.
And I'm just gonna run back between these stages real quick to get out of that poison
Yep.
gas zone.
Yep, you're all good. But it was a dash, not a disengage, correct?
Right.
Right. So as you're able to
Um,
run away, he is going to try and reach out with his long stinger and try and.
He does get disadvantage on those as part of the rage feature, I believe.
Does he? I don't think there's anything in the rage feature that it's
What is
disadvantage.
it? I have one with disadvantage.
Is it Spirit Guardians or whatever? Is it part of the?
Get caught in the
Yeah.
weeds. Caught in the weeds with this. Oh, it's so as Eagle, when you're raging and aren't wearing heavy armor, other creatures have disadvantage on opportunity attack rolls against you, and you can use the dash action as a bonus action on your turn.
Oh, that is amazing. You had to use you would have had to use a bonus action to rage on your turn. So you wouldn't have the bonus action, but you haven't moved yet, so you'd still be able to move anyways when they're taking the attack of opportunity. And the attack of opportunity is only a 12, which I think your armor class is a 13, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're okay. Now, with that having happened, it is now Fietti's turn. He rises, he flies back a bit, and rises into the air. And he says, you know, I haven't gotten to share some of the best aspects of Flavor Town with all of you. Why don't I bring it here for you all to see? And you watch as he rips his claws against the air, and a portal to what we might only be able to refer to as a section of the Nine Hells tears open.
Counterspell?
This is not a spell effect.
Damn it.
This is a feature that he has as he makes use of his ability known only as Welcome to Flavor Town Hell.
Angry. So angry.
Look, as long as donkey sauce doesn't enter the equation, I think we're okay.
You're good. But in a 20-foot radius that is, oddly enough, just going to miss Vince. I thought I could hit all of you, but
Oh, bless.
the only one who I'm able to hit are Laurel and Eden. You watch as through this rift in the plains, a smoldering gush of what we would best call infernal soup spills out of the portal. A flaming, peppery mess that just threatens to scald your skin and overwhelm you with spice and flavor. I need a Constitution saving throw from both of you.
Oh boy.
Oh god. Oh, thank Lord.
12.
Okay.
At least I have those temporary hit points.
You're gonna need them because as the fire passes through you, Eden, because you succeeded, you are going to take 18 points of fire damage. Wow. Laurel, you are going to take 36 points of fire damage.
Uh-huh.
And obviously, you are both now lit on fire.
Oh, fuck.
However, that is his entire action to do that. And then he's just going to fly back down to be right in front of Vince. So yeah, you just got burned by Flavor Town goodness.
That's nice.
More like Flavor Town badness.
It's sometimes the spice just burns you.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Don't worry, Victor.
A lot.
A lot.
It's
But-
okay. I have something planned for next turn.
I hope it's animated object. But
It could be.
It could be, which I know what that spell does, and it means I'm going to be seeing a lot of rolls to kill my dude. But a secondary Spine Devil, Eden, you did not see this because both of his minions have been present out in the crowd. Another one appears right next to you as the secondary Spine Devil goes with a giant infernal fork to try and stab you in the gut.
Oh, Lord.
However, those are both terrible rolls on both of his attacks, and that is only an 11 and a 12 to hit you.
They do not hit.
So the devil is just right next to you, just flying there, and he's basically just trying to go like this and stab you and bite you, and neither of them land. So unfortunately, that is all of his turn. But you have a spine devil next to you. Oh, and one of the NPCs, because we've had, for viewers who cannot see this because it's not listed on the overlay, an NPC was horribly burned away in the mix of the soup. Actually, two in the crowd were lost.
Well, that's quaint.
Lost in the crowd, lost in a wash of infernal soup.
They couldn't handle the spice.
The spice was too strong. And now it comes to the most fiery of the party. Victor.
Yes. All right.
You got
so
3 devils in sight, 2 of which are on your beloved manager, Vince.
I could technically hit all 3.
Because gunslinger.
Gunslinger fire with an extra attack and an action charge. Yes.
Fighters. Fighters will be my bane.
All right, so I'm going to pull out some bad news.
Oh, God.
And I'm going to go straight for the Bone Devil at first, for Mr. Fieri.
Fire away, my friend. Roll and see how it goes.
So, 22?
22 is going to hit. You need to reach a 19 against the Bone Devil.
Okay. I'm just going to put all 3 attacks against the Bone Devil.
All right, fire all 3.
Oh, wait, so attack.
So if you're wanting to do the actual damage out of it, you click on the actual in the chat, the bad news, and that will put up the damage.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I forgot to actually say this. I clicked my boost of haste.
Yeah,
so I get
no
the
worries.
extra attack.
Yeah. You get the extra attack, but it's fire, reload because it's bad news, right?
Yes, fire, reload, fire
again. Because you have the extra
bonus action to reload.
Yes, so you'll be reloaded for the next round. Because it's either an attack action or a bonus action, just for the sake of flow and speed and everything. Because I'm pretty certain you have the ability in your class now at level 10 to do that. So it's fire, reload, fire with your hasted action, and then bonus to reload. So yeah, feel free to click the damage.
It'd have to be the first attack for the next round for reload because I'm using my bonus action for the boost of haste.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Other way, yeah, it'll be that. But
it'd be
all right, so
2 fires and that one missed.
That one misses. The first one will hit though. So click on bad news, and then we'll see what the damage is for what's happening. 16 points. Jeez, you blow off a section of the wing with how heavy bad news manages to land a shot against the Bone Devil's spiny body, and he just sort of turns around and looks and notices the very loud and long rifled implement currently staring at him through the scope.
Hands off!
Just an old burned fire ganassi just screaming at a Bone Devil. It's the perfect sight. And if you want to move at all, you can, but if there's nothing else in your turn.
Yes, and because it's because I'm hasted, I can do 60. So
you have so much movement with haste.
Yes.
All of the movement.
I think I will move as far away as I can. I think I will go right there. I'll kind of help so I grab the right tool.
Yeah, you just click. Yeah, you're all good. So you've moved a bit away. So a lot of the party is scattered out. Currently, Eden has 1 Spine Devil harrying him. Vince has both the Bone Devil and another Spine Devil behind him. Zen has managed to move away, and Laurel is a bit away from everyone as well. And top of the round, Eden, you're back up. You got a Spine Devil on you. What you doing?
I'm going to run away from that as well.
Run away.
Pretty much.
So, Spine Devil is going to take an attack of opportunity. That is only a 13 to hit you, though.
Does not hit.
So, all right, you are a ways from it.
So I forget how it is, but with Ensnaring Strike, when you ensnare somebody and they fail and they're flying, do they fall to the ground?
They would fall to the ground. Right now, he's flown back down because he wants to. You're getting the sense he's targeting Vince because Vince is probably one of the few people in ages who's ever successfully actually read the contract in full and gotten. He doesn't like being made. He spotted Fieri.
So, Fieri's on the ground.
Fieri is on the ground. The Bone Devil is on the ground.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna shoot at the guy that was being a jerk and trying to hit me before and kind of sucked at it.
He sucked 3 times at this point.
Yeah.
Which phrasing is terrible. I'll never say that again. 14 to hit the Spine Devil just misses.
Well,
just barely.
I'm gonna try to hit again.
Alrighty. That is definitely going to hit. So click on the longbow in the chat for your damage. That's 10 points of damage. Alrighty. So that's one of them is already starting to look like that was a solid shot into his shoulder. The arrow is piercing out of him. And he's just sort of snarling back at you. Bit of a whiny sound coming out of him at this point. You have anything with your bonus action you want to do?
Trying to think of what I would have at my disposal. Nothing really comes to mind. I need to relook through all this stuff.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. We'll keep things going. Vince, you're up. You got a person right to the north of you. You got a person to the south of you. What are you doing? This is a dicey moment.
It is a dicey moment. Let's I can either run away or I can just keep slapping him. I like to live hard and fast and loose. So I'm gonna use my bonus action for another insight against Mr. Fieri.
You don't have to do it again. You don't have to keep doing it. It just lasts for a minute once it succeeds.
Oh, does it? Snap.
Yes. So you could, if you wanted to, like run away and disengage from it. You have the bonus action available.
Okay. Then I will first make an attack.
Okay. So
with the rapier.
Make that hit. Make that hit.
Hello.
Stabby stabs.
There we go. Nope. So I don't have advantage. So the first give me 2 inputs. So the first one should be the 12. So that's a miss. Yeah. I'll take the miss. Use my bonus action to disengage because I have cunning action. And
alrighty.
5, 10, 15, 20. Let's go over here. This part is safe.
It's like next to the barbarian, next to my very angry roadie friend.
Zen, buddy, come on. You gotta let's get in here, huh? Let's make put some pepper on it, put some mustard on it.
Sorry, I'm just a little stiff dealing with the crowd members. I just gotta work out some kinks. I'm gonna get them.
He yells back at Fieri, "No autographs."
I love Vince so much. All right, but so that is your movement, disengage, your bonus action, action. So I think that covers your turn. Alrighty, that's good. That's good. It's good.
That was it.
Yeah. So now the secondary Spine Devil is going to. Yeah, he's gonna follow his boss. He's gonna go and he's gonna try and go after your friend. He's like, "Don't worry, I got him, boss." He's going to just try and go after your barbarian friend, seemingly not realizing what a threat Zen is. However, with both attacks, I'm rolling terrible. So the highest is a 12, which does not hit Zen. So he is now there and right in front of someone. And it is now Laurel's turn.
Okay. So I'm going to holler over to Guy Fieri and say, you can certainly try and take our souls. In fact, be my guest. You will not last through this side quest. Animate objects.
How many objects have suddenly appeared on this map that I'll need to add?
Oh, I was just going for what size are the stages Or these blue things?
They're quite big, like at least large. So
Okay,
you
if
could
they're
animate a
large, then I
section.
can take 3 of them.
Yes, they're.
Okay,
Oh my god.
so I am going to take, hold on. I'm going to take this one, and this one. No, the first one can stay where it was. It can hit that devil right there. This one can hit Guy Fieri here, and then this one will hit this one. And meanwhile, Laurel is doing a much more competent parody of Be Our Guest than I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay, so make those. It would be just a
Okay.
plain D20 plus whatever the bonus is. I think it's plus 4 for
Yes.
each of them.
No, it's actually plus 8.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's plus 8 to hit and
What?
deals 2d12 plus. Nope, it's plus 6 to hit. My bad. I was looking at huge.
What?
It is
Animate
plus
objects
6
is ridiculous.
to hit, 2d10 plus 2 damage on a hit.
There's a joke in here about bum rush the stage.
They're-
So this first one is for that guy. So 1d20 plus 6. 13 does not hit probably.
For Fieri or the Spine Devil?
The Spine Devil, this one.
No, 13 unfortunately does not hit.
Okay, this one is for Fieri. 18. Does an 18 hit?
Just misses. By
Okay.
1.
This will be for, and this last one will be for this one.
All right, so roll that one up and we'll see if it does. That definitely hits.
Yeah, there we
25
go.
is definitely going to hit.
Yeah,
So
that
roll
is
up
going
that
to do
damage.
2d10 plus 2.
So you all just kind of watch as 3 whole sections of the stage just break apart, move, and start senselessly beating into Fieri and all of these devils. Fieri's armor manages to repel it, and the other Spine Devil appears to also be able to repel the damage. However, the secondary goon, not goon, sorry, it's a terrible word choice. The secondary minion is unfortunately unable to deal with that and takes a solid blow, is already looking quite hurt at this moment.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is my whole turn minus movement, which I will move over here.
Okay. With that being the case, now it is Zen's turn. Zen, you have a devil who is still currently trying to get at your employer and you, as the aura of flavor is currently spreading all around you, and you feel poisoned by its overwhelming, spicy, intoxicating flavor.
How big is this? How big is this guy?
He would be a category large creature. Like at his full height, this devil is about like 10, 12 feet tall.
So, I don't know if I want to do this. Generally, when I say that, it means I do want to do this, but
Reckless.
yeah. So, well, there's that, but I kind of want to pick this guy up and break him against the edge of the stage, since as my aspect of the beast, I have a bear, which means my carrying capacity is doubled and I have advantage on strength checks made to push, pull, lift, or break objects.
I never see this totem aspect used, so please, for the love of God, use it. Please use this.
Let's hope Roll20 lets me use this. So run it. So just do a strength check.
Yeah, it would just, well, it would be athletics for you.
Athletics?
Yeah. And
okay.
it would be just strength for Fieri. Just to initiate the grapple, and I'll say that will count if you make another attack against him.
Please let it work. Please let it work. Please let it work.
That's a 3. I am rolling terribly for these rolls. You have him grappled. You all watch as your half-orc roadie is like straight up like it's almost like
something out of WWE.
It's like,
you know,
pick him up.
Bam!
So,
right on the edge of the stage.
Make an attack roll for me, just real quick.
with
just a standard with your great axe.
with
We'll
my
just
great
use that
axe.
to sub in.
Okay, yeah.
It's going to be proficient plus your strength because I'm going to say you're a grappling boss because roadie, because it's more fun that way.
Yeah.
I will say in the condition that he is in, though normally it would not hit his armor class, I'm going to allow it because this is fun and this is cooler and because I just want to see a bone devil get slammed against the stage. So we'll say, yeah, that will be 9 points of bludgeoning damage, and he is currently knocked prone as he is just kind of dazed against the stage itself.
So can I do my bonus action then by again punching him in the face?
Yes. And
My
normally,
secondary attacks, not my
yes.
my extra attack, not my bonus.
Yeah.
Extra attack.
So you would normally have a disadvantage with the poison condition in effect, but because
Okay.
it's prone, it would be advantage. So it's just a straight roll.
Okay.
These would be with the armor effect now back in. The first one was just is fun and it's cool, and he was in a prone.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one will not hit, unfortunately. You slam him and it takes him off guard, but you try and punch in and like you're hitting the
I
parts
just
where the
keep-
spine.
Yeah, keep whiffing. All right.
Zen used body slam. It was super effective.
Mm.
You have a bonus action still. If there's anything in your bonus action you want to do.
No, I'm still in a rage. And I don't think I can grapple him again. As a bonus action to kind of like hold him in place.
Yeah, he's
because he's already prone, so
yeah. So he's basically, if you with the full body slam and everything, I'll say he's
Yeah.
like right here on the map. He's on the far end. You're right there. He's a bit a ways from Vince, we'll say. Just we're playing a little loose with orientation and stuff, but because fun. It's ridiculous. And you just body slam the devil, which is
Sure.
not something you can say you do every day.
No, and I think I maybe back up a little bit and I'm like, yeah.
But okay, you back up away from him.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
Not
He's
a
still
lot.
dazed, so he won't take an attack of
Oh
opportunity.
no, this
because
is me
this
basically doing a victory. Doing my little my touchdown dance.
Yep. So that's it for your turn, as impressive as that turn was. And yeah, he looks up. He rolled a 6. So for those of you who know how recharge moves works, he has his ability back. But he did notice that a whole bunch of things just became animated.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a high enough perception to notice what direction it was. So he's going to get up. It costs him half of his movement. And with the other 20 feet of his fly speed, he's going to fly over to the centaur.
Oh boy.
And he's going to take his 3 attacks on you.
Okay. I don't have a very good AC.
So that is going to be an unnatural 20
Uh-huh, that
of
hits.
15
That also hits.
and an unnatural 20.
Yeah.
So that is going to be 18 points of slashing damage and 18 points of cold damage as you watch his claws
I'm
suddenly
down.
erupt. The stinger goes in and it deals a point of damage.
Yeah.
That is 2 death saving throws failed. That's two death saves failed.
I thought when a creature hits you, it was only 1 death save failed.
Not if it's within 5 feet of you.
Okay.
It's a critical hit if it's within 5 feet of you, and critical
Okay.
hit takes off 2. So
Right. Can
I'm
anybody
assuming-
else heal?
Yes.
I think we've got a first aid kit in the wagon.
That's
okay.
Doesn't help you.
No,
Don't tell you to get the wagon.
I have magic healing.
Not the talent.
damn.
All right, that's Fietti's turn. Fietti got pissed from getting slammed against the stage. He doesn't want more of the stage coming at him, so the stages have stopped animating with the spell being broken.
Yeah.
The
Wah,
Spawn
wah.
Devil is going to rush and try and attack Eden. And that is a 17
That'll hit.
and a 14.
17 will hit.
The 14, I assume, will not.
No.
It will only be 8 points of slashing damage in that case. And he's just flying, starting to harry you and watching as Laurel is beginning to bleed out right next to you. It is now Victor's turn.
Oh. All right.
This is where things get dicey.
Let's have some fun here.
You do see Fieri is already starting to look pretty hurt. Like, even just the damage y'all have done so far has already been enough to start wearing him down.
Since I'm hasted, I'm actually gonna kind of move here just before I shoot because this ought to be interesting. So I'm gonna kind of move back here to the edge of the stage to get a line. Or wait, so it'd be shit. I guess it would be kind of here-ish. I want to try and get a line on that Spine Devil and Fieri.
There's no way without hitting Eden.
Up to you if you'd like to make the call. Do it.
Do it.
All right, I'll do
Or don't.
it. Piercing shot.
Piercing shot. It's an attack roll against every single one of them, correct? For everyone in the line?
Yes.
Okay.
So the Spine Devil would be first, and then I have disadvantage for the remaining two.
Yep.
Which I can expend a grit point to make a straight roll, but I'm not going to.
Yep.
All right.
So fire it off.
So 13.
13 does not land, unfortunately.
Shit, what did I roll there?
That was the bad news.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the actual. Oh, it was a 3. Uh-oh.
Oh, do you have a misfire on the 3? I think it's only a 1 or 2, right?
On bad news, I'm actually double checking right now because I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, if you don't remember, we'll just say it's just 1 or 2 to keep things going. So
It's a 3.
It's a 3?
It's a 3.
Ooh. You go to fire and spend the shot, and you just hear this very loud and it just backfires. You got a spare pistol, I suggest bringing it out. This is
It wasn't a 1, so it didn't break.
It didn't break. It's jammed.
So I will use. So that would be my second attack. I will use my third attack to swap to the mortar.
Swapping to a mortar.
Oh,
Don't fucking hit Laurel. She
please,
will die if you hit her.
please
He
do
honestly
not.
will.
It's a 5-foot radius of damage. You'll be fine.
You could angle it so you couldn't hit Laurel. Like, it's
Yeah.
very easy. If it were like 10 or 15 feet, it'd be pushing it.
Okay, so pull out the mortar, action surge, and I'm going to take 2 shots with the mortar, firing essentially right here to hit just the bone, or just Mr. Fieri, and fuck.
Fortunately, the 16 does not land.
Well,
You had 2 shots, right?
I forgot about the mortar. It takes an attack to set up. So
Alrighty, so that's your turn.
1 attack set up, fire, reload, and then I'm done.
Yeah, I think you're good. Eden, you're up. You see a very hurt Spine Devil that's next to you, and the Bone Devil Fieri that is also right next to you.
Well, his first priority is going to turn and cast Cure Wounds at level 3 to Laurel.
Holy Christ. You do roll up, like click and roll that up. We just got raided by, holy Christ, is that Scrat? I think that's Scrat. Yeah, Scrat
50
just
people
brought
from
in a
Scraticus.
50
Hell
people
yeah.
from Scraticus just came down to
Oh,
raid.
fuck.
Welcome. Hello
Welcome
there.
to Flavor
Hello.
Town.
Welcome to
Hello.
Flavor Town, essentially. Well, you join us on a
Jesus
random,
Christ.
very silly side quest one shot as the party is fighting Alden Fieri, the Bone Devil incarnation.
And thank you to whoever is giving out the subs.
Oh wow, Kent Weebs, thank you so much for the
Kent-
subscription. Straticus for cheering bits for us.
Blue Box
Thank-
Pirate for all his subscription.
Yes,
bits as
thanks
well.
for all. Holy
Wow.
right, yeah. I'm
Oh,
losing
I
track
meant
of
to
this.
add, I meant
This
to
is
add
nuts.
stuff to that.
Yeah, but Laurel, you're up. Rolotech subscription, Big Daddy Doc subscription. Holy Christ, the hype train has arrived on a moment of ridiculousness. You arrive as our Centaur Bard on
Hey,
2 death failures has been revived by our Ranger.
Laurel,
Jesus.
add 8 to that.
Okay,
'cause
cool.
That's my spell attack bonus. I forgot to add that in there.
Well, it would be your modifier that you would add for
Oh. The modifier, which would be
it's wisdom.
4. Sorry.
So
Add 4 to that.
Oh,
Laurel, you're
cool.
at 20 points.
Alrighty, I'll take it. Thank you very much.
All right.
And then I'm going to shoot my next idea would do lightning arrow, but that's not gonna be good with what situation we're at anybody. So I'm just gonna turn and attack one of his henchmen that are sitting behind me.
Alrighty, give it a shot. Like
My
roll up
extra.
the attack. That is just enough. Roll the damage. That is enough to finish him. Just barely. You needed to roll exactly that.
Jesus Christ.
So the Spine Devil minion's like, I'll never see my wife and family. Oh.
Yeah, I'd hate to be them and look at you all the time.
Jesus.
Oh.
Oh God. That burned
that.
that burned all the way to the 7th layer of the 9 hells. Jesus.
Talk about Flavor Town.
That is whatever that is
Sugar
the
and spice and everything not nice.
that is the section of it. But I think unless you're choosing to move, that's your action.
It's pretty
Not
much
too
it.
much.
I'm not gonna
Yeah. Don't leave the Bone Devil's presence.
if I
Now
move,
it-
you have to attack me.
Yep, it's Vince's turn.
All right. Goodness gracious. I gotta get my talent back up. But I'm not a healer.
I mean, she's up. She's been healed for 20 because of Eden's actions.
Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, I'm gonna take a bonus action to disengage. Slap Zen on the shoulder. You got this, buddy. All right, listen, I gotta take care of the rest of the talent. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I've disengaged. And then come up here. The aura of Flavor Town is still up, right?
Right.
All right, so I'm gonna
But
take a swing.
It happens when you start your turn in it, not when you enter it. So you have it. So you have it to do.
Got it.
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna take a swing with ye olde rapier. Nuts.
Holy Jesus.
That's crap.
Oh wow. Not to detract from this, but Jesus, Sphinx Roll and Trolls Medine with like a few hundreds of bits, and Dice Butler with 500 and it's cheered a total of 7. With all of that, oops, ignore that.
Level 5 hype train.
Yeah, level 5 hype train.
Whoa.
Because of that,
Dang.
geez. Oh God, we're gonna have to say a lot. Take a free advantage on that because so
Alright.
many people have cheered. That's normally how we do.
Scraticus family, thank you so
Strat
much.
fam coming in.
Holy
Holy
shit!
Yes!
That's how
Are
you
you
do it.
kidding me?
That's how
Yes!
you do it.
Clip
That's how you do
that.
Okay, so click the rapier in there, and
Yep.
then because your normal sneak attack is 5d6, right? Roll 10d6
Jesus Christ.
because rogues
Right,
when they
right.
crit,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
21. Oh,
After all that,
Still-
still
That's
21. It's the
still-
exact same amount that I had before.
damage.
Look at all those ones. Oh,
It's-
well, it was
Damage
worth
is-
it just to
It
get
was
that.
worth it just for the hype. The hype
It's
is
not
real.
always about,
I was
getting
about to-
exactly what you want. It's about sending a message.
Damage is damage.
The hype train that is currently 20%, 35%, 36%. It keeps going up in
It
level
ke- the-
5.
It goes.
Unbelievable.
Jesus, we are at full hype. We are at currently operating on maximum hype capacity, and we make this go higher. Yes.
Oh man,
Yes.
yes we can.
Oh, God.
53%.
So he's
what the?
he-
Ooh.
It's the strike in.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
We
Can
can't
And
we-
he yells,
coming
I
in
told
with
you
no
not to touch the
subscription.
talent.
Jesus.
All right.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. Thank you for coming in and chiming, Strat, and helping us out. Oh my God, come on, roll. All right, I did the Spine Devil's turn to try and hit you, Zen. He rolled a 10 and a 9. What the hell?
Oh, well, I'm glad that everyone else is getting terrible rolls.
Laurel, it's your turn. You have the Spine
Okay.
Devil in front of you.
I am going to bonus action Mantle of Inspiration again, and give everybody in the party 11 temporary hit points, and they may use their reactions to move up to their speed, which I am definitely gonna do.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Basically.
I'm out.
Yep. I'm out.
Did I
Yep.
miss something with the other one? How
Take
many
care, Vince.
attempts were on that?
Vince can also move if he wants to.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, right. You gave me the bonus move.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
minus
out.
your reaction. Yeah,
I'm
all
out,
ass
baby.
And now for my action, I am gonna say, no matter what you do, Devil, you cannot stop the music. And I'm gonna cast Synaptic Static.
Oh shit.
Jesus.
Oh,
Mic
this is gonna
drop.
hurt. This is gonna hurt. That is not one of his.
Please don't
Oh,
stop,
no.
Please don't stop, please
Oh
don't
no.
stop.
Oh, that's bad. He rolled a 5 and a 6, and this is one of
Ooh.
his saving throws, but he gets 12 as his max. That's
Yeah.
that's
They have
Oh.
muddle thoughts for 1 minute in addition to that 26 psychic damage. During that time, it rolls a d6 and subtracts the dice number rolled from all its attack rolls and ability checks, as well as constitution saving throws to maintain concentration. The target can make an int save at the end of each of its turn, ending the effect on itself as a success.
holy Jesus.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just big old fucking power cord and psychic fireball explodes all around it.
Dang.
It's just straight up just big psychic blast emanates out. He is dazed. Jesus. That hit real hard. If there's nothing else you want to do with your turn with
That's my action movement and bonus action.
Zen, take your turn. I know we're
yep.
getting near the end of time of this, so I am gonna wrap this up real soon. But Zen, take your turn.
All right. Well, I've got that the smaller devil man
Yeah.
right in front of me.
And
Yep.
you have
So,
no disadvantage or anything against
Yep.
him.
so I'm going to try and hit him with my battle axe.
Reckless or no reckless?
No reckless.
Okay.
Just going to go for this. Come on.
It's a negatory.
I'm going to try and hit him again. Swing one way, then swing
Please
back
be
the
a-
other way.
Please be a crit just to round this out. Oh, damn. I was hoping for a crit to round this out.
It would be awesome, but I really just have been swatting flies out there. I'm a great roadie and a great barbarian.
You are.
I'm just
You
look
carry
pretty.
the shit real good.
I carry this shit real good and I have a nice face. That's about it.
Mhm.
It is now
Uh,
the Fieti's turn. If you're not doing anything else
Yeah,
past
no, I
that.
got nothing else to do.
On his turn, seeing that one of his minions has already been struck down, seeing that he's been hurt and his thoughts are starting to go a little bit out of it, you see for the first time a look of panic on his face. He reaches out both claws and tries to make a tear in reality, and he's gonna jump through and try and escape.
Counterspell.
All right, roll a charisma check.
Cool. God damn it.
With an 8, unfortunately, you see him leave, and he's like,
Well,
"I'll
like
never-"
what level spell is it?
7.
Oh yeah, no.
This is a hellish version of plane shift. He's just like,
Yeah.
"You'll
Okay.
never forget Flavor Town." Just rips through the planes, jumps through, and yeah, Fieri is gone.
Ah.
Damn it.
At least that's what it appears in this moment. Victor, I want you to take your turn, as there's just one devil left, and you can feel free to just take shots at him.
He will do just that. Ow. Fuck.
Should have
Let's-
cast it at a higher level.
Let's see. I've got the mortar out. I'm gonna put that away and take the pepper box out so that I don't hit anybody else. Because there's only 4 people standing around him.
Please do not blow up the crowd. It would be, or your manager. It would be much appreciated.
You know what? That would be something Vince would do, or Victor would do, though. Unfortunately, that is something he would do.
Carry on.
Hey, Vince, you good with fire?
Also,
Look at my
thank you,
character sheet.
Blue Box Pirate. Thank you for joining the party. We have so much, and maybe a bite to the knees would be more helpful in the situation, Fiona. But oh shoot, I think oh damn, I think my camera is about to die out. Hold on, everybody, give me 1 second.
No.
It's
After
right at
all
the
of
end.
that.
After all of
Right at
that,
the
it
end.
suddenly stops. No, it's coming back on in just a second. Don't worry. It should only be noticeable for a few seconds.
Oh, it's already
But
gone for me.
Victor, have you taken your shots?
I'm gonna kind of plant it like right here, so it just barely gets the
Yeah,
devil.
you would be able to do that.
I was gonna
And
say I'm right behind it, so
since it's already set up, let's do one more. That one hits.
All right, roll the damage, or we'll click for the damage.
So 11 force damage, 7 fire.
Yeah, that's enough. This folk also wasn't very strong. He is demolished. So the other minion, pardon, is taken out, and
It's still a goon.
it's still a goon. Yeah.
It's a goon, but not a goonie.
Yeah, there you go.
Damn it. But yeah, I swear it's not a cult. I promise, Chad, it's not a cult. But yeah, as there's a calm that begins to eventually set in over the crowd, as the 2 fiendish creatures that did stick around were vanquished, and you all watch for a moment as the tear in the plains reappears, and flying out of it through a almost celestial bond of like lasso sort of form of light is Fieri in demon form, in the devil form, pardon. You'll turn to watch and wondering what is going on. And Vince, you with your high passive perception notice first. Flying above you all, unnoticed, descending down in a fully angelic creature of some kind. Still humanoid, but with some celestial markings by nature of the glowing ethereal wings. A very professional looking black suit, bow tie, white undershirt, and long black pants, and very nice kind of fly sneakers. The legendary bard herself, the famed founder of the festival, Cindy Robinson, otherwise known as J.N. Monet. It would appear in a moment of crisis, she has returned and bound this devil.
She's so hot.
Mhm.
Appropriate reaction.
Ooh, mama.
Very hot.
So, it would appear you've all had some trouble. I've taken the liberty of removing this threat. But thank you for putting on such a good show. Everyone, gaze upon the winners of the showdown of the Battle of the Bards, and look upon those who bear witness to the pick of destiny. This glowing, golden, radiant, crystalline object, patterns of red and orange crystals all around it, floats ever so gently into the hands of Laurel, and it splits off to make another one just for Eden, just a perfect replica. Gaze upon our champions.
I lean over to Eden and I'd be like, "You think she's gonna stick around?
Dude, I fucking hope so.
Do you think I can get her number?"
Dude, do it. Go ahead. What do you got to lose?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
She's really pretty though. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'll do it later. It's not cool right now.
Almost as if on cue, she looks in the direction of Zen, and there's just this very faint, just wink.
And Zen faints. Just out cold.
For the
Couldn't
sake of
handle it.
time, because we are a tiny bit over, and I want to try and wrap this up. The festival concludes. The judges, there were judges who did legitimately state that Laurel Eden were the winners of the competition. The party is set. You can feel free to decide in these last moments as we're getting near the wrap up of the session, before we do the wrap up of the whole game, what it looks like for your whole group to win after not having been together for a bit. And then I'll do the tiny little epilogue. But if there's any elements you all want to add to what a win for this group means, feel free to add them in right now. We had a little bit of a long break for tech difficulty, so I think we have 5 more minutes going over. That should be fine. But yeah.
I guess if it's at the after party, then obviously there's drinking, and I'm probably congratulating Victor on not setting the stage on fire this time, because that last time was really bad. It was really bad. Really bad.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was thinking. He reaches into his bag of holding and pulls out
Wish you have a bag of holding.
It pulls out about 3 dozen firework shells, loads them all in the mortar, and launches all of them at once. They explode about 30 feet off the ground.
Oh, Lord.
We talked about giving warning before we did this. Come on, man. Jeez.
Warning? Who needs warning?
My ears.
Yeah.
Me.
Laurel, Eden, Vince, if there's anything you'd like to add?
As Fieri is being dragged off, Vince takes off his rose-colored sunglasses and tucks them into his shirt, and he's like, told you they'd blow you away. And at the after party, I think whatever else everyone else is doing, Vince is like, so listen, like we've been apart for a long time. I don't know what happened. Obviously, there's some magic here. Now that we've got the pick of destiny, we got to go on an award tour. We gotta, people have to know. We got to go back on the road. So he's trying to convince everyone for like a comeback tour.
We'll
down.
see.
I already got the T-shirts printed up. It's gonna be great.
Of course, you
I'm
already
already-
have the
I'm already
T-shirts
fully in.
printed up.
We gotta get paid first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a thing that needs to be done.
Mhm.
Are we gonna get paid? Didn't the organizer just turn into a demon and then fly away into another dimension before getting kidnapped? Are we gonna get paid? We better get paid.
I mean, we have the shirts. Why don't we sell the shirts?
We got the shirts, we got EPs, we got all kinds of merch. Listen,
gotta-
don't
we
worry
gotta-
about the money.
We've
Let me
got
worry
my
about the
solo
money.
albums from when we were broken up, although those are
Yeah.
mine.
I might give in a little bit of money.
You have the album.
we
from
gotta-
putting out
Do
like,
we have a
where
scry
they
of us
sing,
kicking?
making music that way.
Yeah. Do we have do we have like a photo of us, whipping Fietti's ass? We can sell that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, so listen, I know that you may not have looked at your contracts extremely closely, but you did sign away your rights to having your representations and likenesses captured. I did ahead of time contract a few sprites. They have been streaming this thing the whole time, so
Yes. All right. It's DVD.
Okay. Are they at least union, Vince? Come on, Vince. They gotta be
I
union.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
You
they
know I
gotta
wouldn't
be-
do you dirty. I know you guys have your politics, you got your policies and everything, and I respect that. I want to make sure that the mission and the music are both working together in perfect harmony.
Mm-hmm.
They better
Sure.
be.
It's about at this time, this the last sort of closing moment as you're haggling over this, as Vince, you see a familiar looking halfling individual come up to you and he's like, oh man, great show. That was fantastic. We really got to get you guys on a tour. Like, let me just sponsor you already. Just let me just give you all just some money from praise and stuff because I got to see more of this. And you talk to him for a bit and you discover that this is Alden Fietti. This was actually, there was a true manager by the name of Alden Fietti, who you discover a little bit after this event at the after party was simply kidnapped and left behind somewhere. So
Put in the wagon.
yeah, he was in the wagon. He was in the wagon the whole time. But as that moment fades away, we have that. And as you all turn, whenever you depart, whichever direction you go, Zen, you find in your pocket just a little bit of parchment with the name C. Robbins written on it and a few numbers for with a large red orange spherical jewel that you recognize is a sending stone with one last note: keep in touch.
Dude, did you do it?
And that's where we're gonna cut off the session.
Yeah.
So like Zen being asked with that look on his face of just like, oh god, what just happened? But that's where we're gonna cut it off because we are over time. We had a little bit with tech and everything, but want to try and respect folks' time. But yeah, this is Showdown for the Pick of Destiny, everybody.
Awesome. Yay.
Amazing.
I'm gonna quickly run through all the last little outro bits of, oh my god, we have so many names of people who contributed. Thank you everyone who followed, hosted, and rated us with a party of 50 people who chimed in and got us to level 5 on that. Holy Christ. Thank
Yes.
you so much. Ulfric, do you still have the list of names? I have to scroll up a little bit. Okay, wait. Okay, I got it. I got the names. Thank you to Scraticus, Sphinx All, Madam Gandalf, Kent Weaves, Roy Lake, Blue Box Pirate, Trolls Maiden. Thank you to everybody who contributed, who gave. And hi, my name is Eminem. Also, I love this name. Thank you so much for the bits, for the follows, the subs, for everything. You helped keep this whole process going, help make this space keep continuing to be kind of ridiculous silliness that so many different TTRPGs and different GMs, both new and seasoned, can join in. Thank you so much. We are gonna raid someone soon, I believe. We'll be raiding SSQRL very shortly. Thank you so much, everyone. Just for the sake of time, quick round, real quick. Who you are, where we can find you. Very sweet and clean. Send off to everyone. So whoever, just go in a row real quick.
Fiona Fatale. You can find me at Fiona Fatale 2L on Twitter.
Persephone, you can find me at Persephone Hime on Twitter. Also, myself, Sorkia, and our lovely producer Ulfrig on Thursday nights on Hyperdrive, The First Ember on twitch.tv/newtheparty. And I myself am on every other Sunday on twitch.tv/The Bardic Knock on Before the Crimson Storm.
Simon, you can find me on Twitter at Lucha Libris. I am here every week on Welcome to the Party on Sundays, playing the Worldwide Wrestling RPG on Sundays at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. On Thursdays, I'm over at Scraticus. If you're on Scraticus, you already know what it is. 2:30, we're playing Blades in the Dark, sort of Call of Cthulhu, Blades in the Dark. And then on Sunday evenings, starting up at the end of the month on March 29th, starting around like 7 p.m. Eastern, I'll be on So Maddie Games' channel on Twitch. I don't know the exact name, but we're going to be playing a Dragonlance short shot, so you can check that out as well.
It's Rebel or Kellen, whatever you would like to refer to me as. I don't really have any social media, like I stated at the beginning, besides my Twitch, which I really don't want to say. Thanks for watching.
All right, and Victor.
I am Sorkia. I was playing everybody's well-loved explosives producer?
Creator, instigator, initiator.
Yes. It actually came up in the chat at one point where pyrotechnics was in the list of descriptions, and that just like, oh, Victor, the gunpowder salesman from Critical Role. Just had to do it.
Work. Yeah. So that was Sarkia's character. So all right.
I cannot be found online anywhere except for Discord at Sorkia. I'm on the Welcome to the Party Discord, as well as several others. Other than that, as Persephone mentioned, you can find me on twitch.tv/newtotheparty. We are playing Hyperdrive, which is a airlock-based Star Wars RPG. And I think that's about it.
Right. And I'm Angela, otherwise Phoenix24 Femme, otherwise known as the Philosopheme, or Phoenix in a lot of spaces. You can find me on that Twitter, Phoenix24 Femme, Philosopheme for Patreon, where I'm going to be posting up, for those of you who know of my other work, world lore on my homebrew setting of Agni that I've run for a couple seasons here on Welcome to the Party. That's pretty much it for now. Love this crew of players. Thank you for joining in on the ridiculous Fieri-fueled goodness. And we look forward to the next time you all tune in for Side Quest Adventure. Thank you so much for supporting us, everyone, and we will be seeing you soon. And we're, like I said before, rating SSQRL. So our producer is going to wave us off and send us off. So thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful week.